Oh, the chaos outside is frightful, but the blur is so delightful.
Alright, what is up, everybody? What else can I say except this is, of course, Bobby Gaines, otherwise known as Chaos Blur, and it is December 23rd, 2024. We are 2 days away from the biggest holiday every year, Christmas Day, and this has been a remarkable Christmas season. I've said it the whole way through, and it's both felt like a long time and not a long time, as I've got the wonderful soundtrack of Sonic Adventure behind me talking about this. It's felt like it's been a very packed Christmas season, which is always a good thing, you know? Whether it was my holiday party not too long ago, I'm not talking about Christmas Chaos this time, but actually my holiday party at work, setting up Christmas Central way back in the beginning of November, which seems like, I don't know, it seems like it just happened, but it also seems like a while ago. I made a pretty good extensive log of that. But that's all, that's all for this Christmas. Like, that is all to celebrate what I think is going to be a really good Christmas. I never like to predict these things too early, but, I mean, I've never said a Christmas is going to be bad. So, I mean, we know that much at least. And I knew this year with the Games of Christmas Past, which of course I always do. Oh, hold on, we got a lurker in here. So this is a new reward that likely won't be sticking around too long because it's a very much seasonal reward, but For Secret Santa at my job, this also ties into the Christmas season, so thank you for giving me that segue. For Secret Santa this year, can't say I've ever gotten a gift like this before. This is a Sonic movie original box, printed by my coworker who gave me this. And inside we have what appears to be just an ordinary red button, right? So it's one of those talking buttons, right? Probably says something silly, maybe even says something Sonic related. Well, here's what it says.
Great job, Bobby. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Gute Arbeit, Bobby. Frohe Weihnachten und einen guten Rutsch ins neue Jahr.
What's up, Toasted Cartridge? This is going to be a thing for you now, right? The bonus out for Bobby. But a lot of people aren't going to get what that means. Quite frankly, I don't get what that means, and I was there. But no, my coworker, obviously from work, got me this awesome button that they took the time to record an AI message. It sounds like Jason Griffith, one of the voice actors of Sonic. All right, I guess it caught on faster than I thought. All right, well, for those of you who don't know, and I don't know why anybody would, Christmas Chaos, I was greeted with a unique set of shirts. Actually, hold on one second, Toaster. I got a little surprise for you now. So yes, you did all wear the shirt. But not only did you wear the shirt, I don't know if you knew this, you left one at my house. Yeah. So I have one of the the 4 shirts ever made right here. It will never be worn. I came back and became a chipmunk. Well, we all know I literally could not have touched this. We have video proof that oh, geez, that's a weird statement. We all know I could not have changed this. We have video proof that I was out of the room. I wasn't even at the computer. I literally wasn't touching the headset. I wasn't touching anything in this room. And I'm guessing, I haven't seen the video, but I'm guessing nobody else came in here in the 10 seconds I was gone. So the setting could not have possibly changed in any conceivable way. Does anyone follow that? That makes sense to me. I mean, that doesn't seem like a complicated thing. Now I'm kind of just purposely talking high-pitched.
Sonic, wait up!
That's what I'm saying. That one I kind of exaggerated, but it's like there wasn't anything in here while I was gone that I know of. I guess I can go back and watch it and see if maybe like a bug flew in here and landed on a button, but I kind of doubt it. Alright, let's see what we got going on here. At least we know now before I start what's going to be like a 2-hour playthrough or whatever. But anyway, we've talked about Christmas, we talked about the Christmas bash. Let's talk about me not being able to talk. Because I had this all tested. I say that every time, it doesn't matter. I can test all this stuff a million times. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Hold on. Toaster has a theory. I'm gonna reset this, but first I want to be able to talk for a second. It's probably just a cable that's loose because that's what I thought too, but honestly, this is like the 3rd USB I've tried. This is all this is a USB-C cable. I've got one that basically like locks into here. Like, look at how hard I'm gonna have to pull this out. Hey, it might not be back. That looks like it's back. But yeah, so, good thing nobody heard what I said while it was out. But, you saw, let me use a different wording this time. You saw how difficult that was to get out, the cable. It was difficult to get the cable out of the headset. And that was with me trying to get the cable out of the headset. So you mean to tell me, when I wasn't doing anything, the cable pulled itself out of the headset enough to do that? Alright, well, we've started a new terrible thing, although I guess I know what my next clip of the week's going to be. More on the topic, though, and I do see you, Queen Bee. How you doing today? Thank you for tuning in to the final episode of Games of Christmas Past, because tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and then, of course, we got Christmas Day, and let's just say you are all going to be sick of me well before that with all the streams I got planned. But today, this here is a very special game. Hold on, I'm going to have to... Robotnik's talking over me now. This is a very special game. This is Sonic Adventure on Sega Dreamcast. So, fun fact, the disc that's in my Dreamcast right now is not... Let me just show you. This is actually the disc. So you're probably wondering, like how could I be playing this if it's, you know, not in the Dreamcast? Like, this is the actual disc that I got 30-something years ago, 25 years ago. This thing is beat to shit. That's why. I have a second copy of Sonic Adventure that is in the Dreamcast right now. But this is the original game case and the original disc. I wish I had a second Christmas. I really do. I kind of do. Like, I feel like I celebrate Christmas for like a month. So, I mean, honestly, that's a fair point. But anyway, we'll continue to talk all throughout this stream because it is just amazing to me that we are just 2 days away from Christmas. And it's amazing to me that even as late as December 23rd, we just got another clip for the channel for the best of 2024, because I'm still working on a montage for that. We're going to go ahead now and flip over to the gameplay here. Let's see, I want to see, have I really, like, beaten the game as, like, everybody, like, that many times? I'm going to have to delete a save file, which is not really that big a deal because I've got 3 of them. But I purposely want to do this because I want to start from scratch here. I want to do Sonic's story right from the beginning. This is back when we had unskippable cutscenes, so this is going to be fun. I mean, I love these cutscenes anyway, so I have no intention to skip them, but this was, I'm going to pretend, you know, I can't really pretend too much, but it's almost like it's my first time playing the game. Not really, though. Fun fact, I had the Dreamcast featured at my Christmas Chaos, kind of a last-minute decision on my part. I wanted to have some kind of video games on the big screen, and there were also video games down here, plenty of video games, actually. And I had the Dreamcast hooked up on the big screen TV upstairs, which is where most people were most of the night. And I was happy to see people playing, you know, Crazy Taxi, Soul Calibur, WF, Royal Rumble, all kinds of games that I remember growing up with, you know, 99 to 2001. Sadly, the Dreamcast didn't last very long. But this game here, Sonic Adventure, and we'll get into this in a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Just by the way, Sonic Movie 2 kind of spoofed this opening as well when Sonic was up on the building watching the cops come by. A little janky looking here, but I think that's what they were going for.
What's up?
Don't forget, too, this was my first time seeing Sonic the Hedgehog talk. At this point, all I had ever played, and all anybody had ever played, was the Sega Genesis games, where, you know, you were just Sonic, this blue hedgehog running around Green Hill Zone, later Emerald Hill Zone, and Angel Island Zone, you know, just running around these colorful environments, blowing up robots. And now, all of a sudden, you're Sonic in this city with human characters and whatever this thing is. I mean, this was both impressive and confusing to me when I first saw it. I'm like, what? I was excited, don't get me wrong, but it was like, what is this thing? Now, we're going to find out what this thing is. I still think this game has probably, if it's not the best Sonic story, it's like the second best story in a Sonic game. It's really good. I wish Sonic, Sonic Team put as much effort into their stories nowadays. Like, I'm going to try not to turn this into like, well, you know, new ones aren't as good, but I'm going to try to stay away from that and just focus on the positives here. Story-wise, though, this game was nearly perfect. I guess the only flaw would be including Big the Cat as a character who didn't really have any part in the story other than to just be there. So this goes right into the first boss fight, which is pretty cool. You can believe I spent a lot of time on demos before I actually owned a Dreamcast to, like, play in this fight. Like, I memorized the first, like, third of this game from how much I played it. This boss is not much. You're also introduced to Sonic's homing attack here, which, yeah, you can always jump, but you can also now home in on enemies, which is handy in later levels. Doesn't really matter now. This is a freaking pissy boss. I think I got hit by this maybe twice as a kid. There's literally no point in him doing that. Like, he jumps up on a flagpole just to jump back down. It's supposed to look cool, and I guess it does, but it doesn't dramatically do anything gameplay-wise. Anyway, how we all doing today? Another thing is, as a kid, you always think games are longer than they are. Like, I used to think this was like a 10-hour game or something. Like, you could beat this game in like 5 hours between all the stories. So that's why I'm not too worried about it. I think this Sonic's campaign is the longest campaign in the game. I think it might be close to 2 hours. And I'm not exactly a speedrunner. So this scene to me was exciting. I guess I'll just explain all of them, why they were all exciting. But this was the first time you see, and yeah, now he looks like crap. Back then, it was like, holy crap, that's Robotnik. Like, you see Sonic, you know, watching this thing, and
You know nothing, fool.
up here,
Chaos.
the God of Destruction. That was my first introduction to modern Robotnik. Well, modern at the time, and just a special shout-out to Sonic Movie 3 for finally putting him in that outfit. That was actually pretty cool to see. So anyway, the game doesn't really do a great job of narrating this, so I'm just going to do it. A few days later, Sonic is laying on the beach here, minding his own business. Apparently his eyelids are tan. I always found that kind of weird. Later games, I think they're blue. He sees a plane, right? Plane is not doing so well. Yeah, there's Tails, introduced in Sonic 2, the movie and the game. Also, by the way, some of the worst voice acting was right there. Tails, you're gonna crash! Ah! That's literally, that's me. Like, sometimes when I read voice lines and I do that voice, I'm purposely spoofing this, where I'm like, you have to save the city now. Like, I'm like making fun of this, like, Tails, you're gonna crash! Ah! Except they were actually paid to do that. Like, that was actually Ryan Drummond, the real voice actor of Sonic, going, Tails, you're gonna crash, ah. More, right now. Ah, I love this game. I mean, I know exactly what's gonna happen, because I played the game a million times, and I know exactly how to get through these levels in pretty quick time, but damn it if I don't love it. I even love minor details here that I noticed back then, but I appreciate it more now. Sonic's footprints on the sand, again, minor thing, but still cool for the time. You can actually destroy all the scenery around you if you want. Like, again, stuff you don't really need to do, doesn't affect the gameplay, but just nice little touches back when Sega gave a damn, to be quite honest. Oh yeah, these little things here have like bouncy physics, like they would, you know, these little rope things. I'm actually not sure what those are supposed to be. I'm trying to think of what else I can do to like differentiate this from the other 20 times I played through this game, because I almost always play through this game. I also saw the message, by the way, Toaster. I didn't mean to ignore you, but that you're doing Christmas shopping like now. I mean, I wish you luck. I'm trying to think the latest I've done Christmas shopping. It might have been like today. I didn't get anything today. This Christmas season, I've actually been, like, not to brag, but I've been pretty on top of not just the shopping, but just all the aspects of Christmas, to the point where I'm ready to go. I've always said I like Christmas Eve to just be the day where I just wait for it to be Christmas, and hopefully we'll have some people waiting for it along with me. I know a lot of people who live in the European or other time zones probably will be asleep, but around 11:30 p.m. here, actually earlier than that, but that's when I go streaming. Around 11 o'clock, 11:30 here, I will be getting ready for the biggest countdown every year. No, not New Year's Day, because I actually don't really care about that countdown, but I do participate in it. But the countdown to Christmas Day itself, and it is always spectacular. You guys know. You see little clips of it when I do my, it's back reward or whatever. But see, the thing is, and I'll mention this tomorrow too, and I'll mention it now, and I'll probably mention it tomorrow morning. I don't do it to be funny. Like, people think I do it to be funny. Like, oh, look at this guy going nuts, being an idiot. It's like, I don't know what I do in those 10 seconds or whatever it is when the clock strikes midnight. I mean, I know it's loud. I know it's whatever. I know, I'll be honest with you, maybe, let's see, like 70% of the time I don't plan what I'm going to say. Sometimes I kind of know what I'm going to say just based on the situation, but even then I go off topic because it's just kind of like, how do you express this thing being here that you've always waited for? Like, it's like, yeah, the initial reaction is like, yes, but then it's like, well, what else? Like, what's another word? What's another way to just get excited about something? I can't tell you because I'm not even there yet. I also took the wrong route here, so whatever. I probably won't be as much of a chatterbox the whole stream because not to say this is a long game, but there's going to be some stuff to do. We're going to slow it down at times. I guess that's one thing when people say, oh, Sonic had a rough transition to 3D. Well, this is his first 3D game. I think it's a borderline masterpiece. But if you want to pick it apart, I guess it has some slower parts. You know, there's stuff where you have to explore to find the next level. I guess people didn't like that. Also weird glitches like that. But, I mean, that also existed in a lot of late 90s games. That wasn't even really a glitch. It just kind of took that angle a little weird. Yeah, that's it for me. I mean, you guys are free to chat it up as well. I'm paying attention to chat, rewards, and all that good stuff. Obviously, I'll be turning off the rewards for the Christmas countdown tomorrow night because I'm not going to have my stream deck. It's just going to be a purely documentary, historic type of night, great music, and hopefully company, but that is not the goal. You know, the goal is not to have a bunch of graphics because I will be the graphic. I will be the one on screen making it happen. But I'm very excited for it. I mean, I was going to count down to Christmas either way. I always do. It wasn't until 2019 I got the idea to start live streaming it. But other than that, me streaming or me counting down to Christmas is really nothing new. It goes back, I want to say 2011 was the first year like I officially did it. Believe it or not, there was not always a time where I counted down to Christmas like live. And I'm not talking about when I was a little kid. I mean, even when I was like maybe 20, 21, like, I don't know. Again, I'm trying to think now. I'm so old. I can't remember years as well. Like, even Christmas 2009, which was one of the biggest Christmases I ever had, I didn't count that down live. Like, I think I did, like, one video at, like, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock saying, like, you know, I'm so excited. It's Christmas time, you know. It's going to be Christmas tomorrow. And I might have done something privately, but there was no, like, you know, the earliest trace of me doing the whole Christmas going nuts thing, I think it was, like, 2011. There's, like, a video of me looking at my watch. And it's, like, very, like, even then it's kind of toned down. I kind of, like, run around a little bit. I don't know why. I just didn't do it, even when I stayed up later. And then, obviously, as a kid, I remember I had this thing I used to do, and I feel like this video is going to be more about me than the game. But when I was a kid, like, when I was, I don't know, 10, 11 years old, I got this game when I was 11 years old. Christmas Eve, 1999, I remember filming. I was in my bed, and I had the camera. I thought this was, like, the most clever effect ever. It's so hokey now, but it wasn't Christmas. Like, it wasn't even, I mean, it was Christmas Eve, but it was, like, probably, like, 7 o'clock at night or something. Like, it was nowhere near midnight. But I was like, okay, I'm going to go to bed for Christmas Eve now. Like, it was a staged thing. And there was like this lever on the camera. This is a very old camera. Well, now it is. But I hit the little lever, and I made the lens cap shut. As if it was like an eye shutting. Like, I'm going to close my eyes, and when I wake up, it's going to be Christmas. So, I did that. The little lens cap goes down. Christmas morning now, when I wake up, I slide the lens cap back up, and it's like, oh, I woke up, and it's Christmas. So it's supposed to be like this little transition, like, in 5 seconds it became Christmas, and, it's like, oh, I do like this fake yawning, like, oh, tired, oh my God, it's Christmas. Like, that was like my earliest, like, Christmas, like, countdown, quote unquote. And I did that for actually a few years, too. I did, like, a similar thing. Like, I would show the calendar, with the 24th circled. Like, everything I do, I base on some kind of movie cliche. Like, you see movies where they're counting down to something, there's like a montage, and they circle the date. Like, the 25th is circled, so now you know it's Christmas. Like, I would do that for a few years. And then, believe it or not, I didn't really do anything in terms of Christmas countdowns. And then again, we're probably talking, like, this is high school now, 2002, 2003, etc. I was excited for Christmas, so I might have made, like, 1 or 2 videos about it. But, it was when it was Christmas Day, it was Christmas Day. I didn't do, like, this long lead-up to it. Speaking of a lead-up, I'm going to go ahead and let Robotnik do the talking here.
If it isn't Sonic!
Look, it's a giant talking egg.
Silence! I am Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius.
Can I just...
in the world.
I said I wasn't interrupting, but I did.
Whatever you say, Eggman.
I love the banter here that he calls himself Dr. Robotnik, the greatest scientific genius in the world. Like, this was such a great way to introduce players to Robotnik if they somehow hadn't played a Sonic game in the 90s. But then Sonic, like, quipping back right away with, like, whatever you say, Eggman. Like, to me, I know it's cheesy, but that is Sonic and Robotnik to me. Like, Robotnik truly believes he's, like, this, like, this maniac. Well, not maniac. He believes he's a genius. Robotnik believes he's a genius. Sonic sees him as, like, a nuisance. Like, oh, whatever you say, Eggman. Which, to be fair, they took that energy into the movies. All 3 movies of Sonic. Hey, what's going on, Zero? We got a lot to talk about today, so strap in, sit down. Ooh, poor choice of words. You know what I mean. We're playing Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. We're doing it as if it's my first playthrough. It's obviously not. And to that effect, I'm, like, telling you what's going to happen as it's happening, because I've already played the game a bazillion times. In fact, I also know that this boss can be cheesed if you do the boss rush mode later, and you have Sonic's Lightspeed attack power. You can actually take him out in, like, 1 or 2 hits instead of the 3. So this boss fight is easy as hell, but I always loved it because, again, as a kid, I loved fighting Dr. Robotnik in the 2D Sonic games. This, to me, blew my mind. It's like, holy crap, it's Robotnik shooting missiles at me in 3D. Like, I always thought this was, like, the perfect, way, again, to introduce you to Robotnik, the villain. If you're a Sonic fan, obviously you knew who he was, and he shows up and he starts shooting missiles at you. And kind of like the old Genesis games, he has this part here where he plunges down into the ground, you have to hit him with your jump or whatever. Like, again, this is not a hard boss, but I cannot commend enough, like, how great this game is. Not just as a game, but, like, as an introduction to 3D Sonic, which it was for everybody. It was Sega's first time doing 3D Sonic. Like, they could have easily messed this thing up, and some people will argue they did, and maybe Big the Cat was not the best inclusion, but for the most part, I think this game is awesome. Like, I love this game. Let's see. What I realized, Sonic 06 was supposed to be a reboot. Yes, it was. It wasn't supposed to be a reboot. So what you mentioned about, like, Shadow and Rouge and Blaze and everything, like, new people. No, you're right. Sonic 06 was weird. It was kind of supposed to be a reboot, but it was supposed to be a reboot kind of like this game was a reboot. Like, you knew who Tails and Knuckles were in the Sonic universe, but they still kind of bring back this idea that Sonic and Knuckles are rivals. I'm talking about Sonic Adventure now. So it was kind of the same thing then. They didn't have as much of a rogues gallery at that point. So kind of like with the reboot, Shadow and Blaze and all them know each other in the continuity of that universe. Does that make sense? But, like, I know what you're saying, but it's kind of like, any new characters, like Princess Elise or Solaris or Silver, they're looked at as the new characters in the game. And, Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, etc. are kind of the old guard, if you will. Just like in this game, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles and Amy were already characters, but this is their first appearance in 3D, so they still kind of do that kind of like, oh, what's going on? Like, they introduce you to the characters without introducing you to them. Not to defend the storytelling of 06, because trust me, Sonic 06 has a lot of plot inconsistencies, and it actually is not a bad plot, but unfortunately the whole game around it is so bad that you kind of lose sight of that.
Oh, yes. It's just as the stone tablets
I'm also talking over the entire plot of Sonic Adventure, but if you guys don't know what Sonic Adventure is about at this point, I don't know what to really tell you. You're watching a stream of a guy and me who is a longtime Sonic fan who, I almost just assume that everybody has some working knowledge of Sonic and you watch this channel for any period of time. Although, really, my Sonic streams do not dominate my channel by any means. I mean, I stream Sonic quite a bit, but not as much as other games. So when I get to really kind of go off on Sonic like this, it's pretty fun for me. It's nostalgic, but it's also entertaining for me, because like I said, I could play this game a million times and never get tired of it, even though, again, I know exactly where to go, I know exactly what to do, which I can't always say. In fact, this part right here was a really cool cliffhanger on me as a kid. You know, like, Robotnik's got his scheme, he's going to get all the Chaos Emeralds and turn Chaos into this giant monster to destroy the city. It's like, wow, that's a really cool plot. But now what do we do? You know, like, the goal is to get the Chaos Emeralds, but, like, where do you go, right? They just pluck you into this giant world. Now, this is just me as a kid. Like, I know where to go, but, like, you know. So imagine you just saw that cutscene. Robotnik did his little spiel. Now he's gone. Tails is like, we got to get the Chaos Emeralds. This game does not tell you where the emerald is. Again, I'm pretending I don't know. I'm running around this thing like, okay, yep. Robotnik's getting away. He vanished, by the way, so it's not even like he went in a direction you could see. We're the exploration party searching. Just for shits and giggles, I actually want to talk to some NPCs to see if they actually tell you where the emerald is. Like, I know how to get there, but they don't give you any visual cues where it is. I really need to explore this mountain, but I don't even know where to start. See, that does not help me, and the emerald's also not over there. Alright, well, I'm not going to spend an hour trying to find an emerald, then I know where it is. But my whole point being is after that scene, you're basically like Zelda. You're like, okay, where am I going? You're going up here. So you go up here. This thing is here. How would you know this is here? I don't know. But you pick it up, right? Alright. So the game assumes you know what this is, even though this is the first time this thing has ever appeared, and probably the only time this thing has ever appeared. It's called the Windstone. And again, you're at Tails' workshop, right? So I thought maybe, I gotta go inside, talk to Tails. So, like, you can go inside, by the way. You can go inside here. Alright, so you're inside. Also, what's up, Big Mac? So you're inside. Just, by the way, you can't do anything in here. I just realized that. Like, you can go in here, but there's nothing in here. So you're walking around. Again, I'm pretending I don't know. I know where to put this. I know what to do. I figured it out with limited English. Oh, thank you. That makes me feel so much better. I figured it out, too. I just don't remember how. I think I just kept, like, walking around. I knew you had to pick this thing up, but that, again, that's after exploring forever. This was the only kind of out-of-place thing in the game at that point. So I'm like, what do I do with this now? So I thought maybe my first thought was maybe I'd take it over here. Like, I don't know, there's a cave over there. That's actually the Chow Garden. Now, I actually want to test that theory out. Is there an NPC that tells you? I found this strange stone on top of the hill. Okay, so he does tell you that. Again, I was like 11 years old and I was like watching a story about Robotnik. I was not thinking, let me talk to this Indiana Jones looking person. But this is also the wrong cave. This cave does not take you to Windy Valley. I was going to leave it there until I could tell the leader. Okay, so to be fair, yes, if you talk to that person, they'll tell you there's a strange stone. Keep in mind, I'm 10 years old, 11 years old at this point. I'm not really, like, putting that together. Like, if it was a Chaos Emerald, I'd be like, okay, maybe it's a Chaos Emerald. But, like, that's the wrong cave, by the way, that person's standing here. The cave you need to go to is over here. That cave is the Chow Garden. This is the cave you want to go to. What does this asshole have to say? Hey, that shiny mark on your stone, which he would only say if I had that stone. It looks just like the mark on the plate I found in the cave. Okay, well, that is pretty conclusive. I'll give you that. In fact, I think that's how I figured it out. But again, unless you're holding this stone, let's see what does he say if you don't have the stone? I saw this weird plate in the cave and scrawled on it with signature right said wind. Okay, again, I'm not saying this is the most complicated thing ever. I'm just saying that when you're used to playing Sonic games and the main way you get to a level is by hitting start, it's just a little weird. Oh, thank you for the follow. Daisy Luna 2. I don't know why I said Luna that way, mainly because of the 3 A's. By the way, I love this stage. I love this game, too. I'm just kind of clowning on it a little bit. Hey, how you doing? I followed you on X. Nice. Oh, this is off to a predictable start so far. I like being called a buddy. I don't know if I like the mention of X and then the immediate follow back with the purple heart, just like 10 other people have done. But that's alright. We are ready for anything here. Just like we are ready for Christmas in just a few days. Just 2 days, actually. How you doing, Big Mac? I know in Germany, in fact, I just had Bex on the stream a little earlier telling me that there are 2 Christmases, 2 Christmas days. Technically 3 if you count Christmas Eve, because December 26th is also considered Christmas Day 2, which I think is awesome, by the way. I consider, like, pretty much the whole last week of the year Christmas in terms of, like, just being able to relax for a bit. But we're not there yet. We're almost there, but we're not there yet. We only follow back on why. Nice. The funny thing is, even though I know he's joking, that probably just blew their mind. Yeah, I mean, I consider pretty much everything Christmas, but that's another story. So I'd say, somebody asked me this. Who asked me this? It wasn't anybody on the stream. It was somebody in real life. Legitimately asked me, are you a bigger fan of Christmas or Sonic? And I really couldn't answer that, because they're kind of the same thing. Calls it X, I immediately dislike. But you just... Oh, sorry. I thought you were Daisy, yeah. I'm like, but you just called it X. We unpack gifts on the 24th. Hey, sorry. I know some people do it like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I start to bring out the gifts that day, because I have this whole rigmarole. Every year I feel like I make Christmas even more and more of a spectacle, if that's even possible. Like, I've got, like, ceremonies now. I've got, you know, the Christmas fireside chat, which some of you saw a little bit of. Then I've got, you know, the Christmas Eve stream, the Christmas Day stream, the Christmas countdown stream, the Christmas, like, after Christmas stream. Last year I did, like, Legos after Christmas, so I still considered that part of Christmas. It's like, enough is enough, right? Like, even on Christmas Day, I usually do 2 streams. Not always, but I'll do, like, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. And, of course, in between, I'll give my family a little time. Because why not? I love my family, and they deserve to see a little bit of me, too. I can't be glued to a computer screen all the time, right? Well, maybe I can. My point being that Christmas is just taking on this whole other thing, and I was mentioning earlier in the video, I'm not going to repeat it all, but, like, you know, Christmas from, like, 20, even 15 years ago was a lot different, where I still did some stuff, but, you know, it's just been so much more. Probably even more. See, I know you're kind of joking, maybe not, but, like, actually that's the only thing that can make Christmas better to me, is if I had a kid, because, you know, I would be like, I don't want to brag or nothing. Oh, this part, I hate this. You can sometimes get stuck here. What I was going to say is, you know, if I was Daddy Santa Claus, so that would just be it. I would be so committed to the Santa Claus thing and just the whole persona, the whole magic of Christmas that I would, like, I don't know yet. I don't even know, because I don't have a kid, so I can't really say all these things like they're guaranteed, but, like, you know how crazy I am for my own Christmas. Like, imagine me with a kid. You know, the ability to, you know, bestow that magic. Like, I would go to so much trouble to, like, really just make it as great as possible, you know, every year. And even after they, you know, got older, I would still try to make their Christmases great. Like, I don't know why I'm spouting on about this. I don't have kids. I basically am a kid, even though I'm not, but... And that's kind of the advantage, I guess. Although maybe, you know, if I became a father in real life, that's a scary thought. But if I became a father in real life, I would get more mature, but... Like, I kind of am a kid, so I kind of know what kids want. Like, I'm kind of like, what would I want? Like, if I was like a 5-year-old boy, you know, Christmas morning, what would I want to see? I'm thinking like Hot Wheels around a track, like already assembled. Like, you wake up, and there's like a Hot Wheels, like, loop-de-loop, you know, like going around the gifts or something. Like, just something crazy that just assembled itself overnight. Because I always loved that as a kid. Like, not that I saw that, but like... The idea that I would go to bed and then wake up and there'd be something different there, like, I didn't know. I thought that was, like, the coolest thing ever. I'm like, I'm gonna go to bed, and when I wake up, it's gonna be, like, you know, 5 boxes there with toys in it. Like, holy crap, how'd that happen? Like, it didn't happen any other day of the year. Oh, my God. 24th, we celebrate with our parents. I love, by the way, I do love reading this stuff. Like, I love hearing, whether it's different countries, different cultures, whatever, how people celebrate Christmas, because, you know, Christmas, I mean, every holiday, you know, whether it's Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate, you know, Christmas and holidays in general, you know, they're for everybody. Like, every country, every culture has their own way of doing things. So I always love to read about, you know, what do you do based on, you know, maybe where you live, you know, what you like. But, you know, so to hear about, you know, Germany, you know, you open presents on the evening of the 24th, 25th, and 26th of bonus free days, that's great. That's not how we do it here, but that's great. You know, Queen Bee obviously has a different experience being a new mom, which we congratulate her for that, seriously. Her and Crow are going to be very happy for, I mean, they're going to be happy anyway, but, you know, happy with their child and many great Christmases and holidays to come. Babyfoot, there you go. Hey, hello, Babyfoot. How you doing? We got Zero. We have a bigger family, 24th. Yep, I know a lot of people even here that do that, you know, like sometimes we do. I mean, I think I might be doing 2 different Christmases where I, you know, have my grandmother over or maybe, you know, go over there, whatever's got to happen. So yeah, the Christmas day, like December 25th is obviously the day, but like stuff happens before and after that day that's also pretty cool, so I don't know. I'm just so excited I'm not even making sense now. I'm just saying words. I know I gotta go to Casinopolis. Am I really forgetting how to get there now? Oh, okay. Nope, I remember. I need the Lightspeed Dash first. See, this is what I mean. If you're not careful, you forget how to do things in this game. This is not like SA2, which I know is Big Mac's favorite. It is SA1, but SA2 kind of just, you know, guides you along. You know, the story tells you what's going on, and then you go to one level, then you go to the next level. In this game, you got to kind of pay attention to stuff. So you got to go, you know, in here, which again, who the hell knows how I figured this out, but doesn't matter because we figured it out. We go in here now, we jump up here, and the reason you need to do all this is because the Lightspeed Dash is here. Now, the Lightspeed Dash in Sonic Adventure works very differently, although similarly, to the Lightspeed Dash in SA2. What foods do you have during Christmas? See, there's a whole bunch of stuff. See, I've never heard about cabbage soup for Christmas, but I mean, I'm not knocking it. What was I going to say? For Christmas food, I know this year we're having ham, probably stuffing. It's almost like I want to say better, but like a different Thanksgiving. Like there's a similar spread to American Thanksgiving, like turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, stuff like that. I mean, yes, some people do fruitcake and eggnog and those things. I personally don't. Our family doesn't, but all right. But yeah, at least in my family, we're fairly simple. Some years we've had pasta or pizza even because we have like an Italian contingency in our family, which I'm more than okay with. To me, really any holiday, but especially Christmas, I don't really get into the food. Like, I know like Thanksgiving and Christmas are supposed to be about the feast. And yeah, the feast is fun, but we could be having hamburgers. I really wouldn't care. Like, I mean, hell, my last party, my birthday Christmas party, I just had KFC chicken. Like, I don't... You know, like, it's more about being with people. Like, I don't really care what we're eating. Like, it doesn't have to be this fancy thing. Not saying that stuff is fancy, but... Oh, all right. Well, I'm also not big on alcohol either, so I'm sure it's good rum and everything, but I don't drink it during the year, so I'm not going to start drinking it now. I'm just, like, playing this game while talking about Christmas. This is the life. I have been looking forward to this stream for a while. Like, I knew when I did Christmas past games, I wanted to do this where I did the entirety of Sonic's campaign in Sonic Adventure. And, you know, as usual, time kind of started to run out on me where I'm like, oh, geez, if I'm going to do this, I better do it soon because it's like Christmas Eve tomorrow. So I'm like, I'm going to do this today. This is going to be the last Games of Christmas Past stream. I am going to do a stream tomorrow morning. It's not going to be a Game of Christmas Past, though. I don't drink, usually just a bit. No, it's all good. Let's see. I'm actually going to do the Sonic one first. There's 2 different pinball tables here. This one is slot and pinball, so this is the Sonic-themed one. I usually don't do well in this one. The whole goal of this stage, short version, is to get to 400 rings, and then you'll have enough for the elusive Chaos Emerald. Which I like that the Chaos Emeralds were a focus of the story. Like, they weren't the whole story, but a lot of this game is about getting the Chaos Emeralds. I can't explain why I love this game so much. It's a great evolution of the classic games while also giving you, like, a reason. Like, why you get into Chaos Emeralds? Because there's, like, a quest. There's a reason. There's a whole story behind it. It doesn't feel forced. Like, it feels like it fits in with the old Sonic lore, but in a bigger way. Everything about this game felt bigger than the Genesis games. Which it should have been. This was Sega's big debut, you know, on, what was it, 6th gen hardware, 5th gen hardware? I don't even remember now. No! So you don't want to lose all your balls before you get to 100 rings, because then you get stuck in the garbage dump, and that's a whole other thing. Try to avoid the garbage dump if I can. But like I said, this particular pinball table is a little trickier. Okay, that seemed like that was a complete glitch. I should not have gone to that ramp, but that's fine, because now we get to see this really cool animation. More, right now. See all the animation. Oh, jeez. That part's almost completely random, too. Like, you saw there were a bunch of goodies I could have gotten there. I didn't get any of them. Oh, well. Guess I'll try again. Yeah, I don't know who built this table. I don't know why Robotnik's face is on it, but, like, yeah, this casino is apparently partially owned by Robotnik, and I don't get it. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, heck, even the other pinball table, which we might get to take a look at, is a little bit out of character, but anyhow. Let's see what we can do right now. This stage actually probably takes the longest in the game just because of how long you have to harvest rings. It's not a long stage, but it kind of is because you have to collect all the rings. It's literally just a, you know, you can spend 5-10 minutes playing a pinball table, but the other levels you can beat in probably less than 5 minutes. Late happy birthday. Sonic 3 was great. Yeah, I'm not going to spoil anything, but no, Sonic 3 was really great. I don't know if I'm just saying that because it's like recency bias. It's like the last thing I saw, so I'm like, oh, that was awesome. Like, you know, as time goes by, and I just saw it a few days ago, I'm like, you know, at the theater, I was like in it, I was psyched, all that stuff, you know, but then, you know, you take some time to really think about what you saw, and yeah, I still think it's a great movie even after that, but my opinion of it might have gone down a little bit, but it's still a really fun movie. If you like the first two, you'll definitely like this one. And if you didn't like the first two, I don't think this one's going to really change your mind, but at least as an SA2 fan, I think you'll enjoy it. But thank you for the happy birthday. I know it's bad luck to wish somebody happy birthday early in Germany, but late, I don't think it's an issue. I'm actually surprised I'm doing as well as I am on this particular pinball table. I haven't even really hit the slot machine much. But if I do, oh boy. Let's say, this one is actually fairly difficult. How much... See, this is something that my friends and I differed on. They don't appear as much. That's all I was going to say. Like, they don't appear as much, and I think that's a good thing. My friends don't. Like, some of them. The ones that are big Sonic fans don't care. But, like, I literally have a friend who loves the first two movies, particularly the first one, because of, like, the buddy comedy aspect of it. And there's some of that in this, but, like, compared to the first two, they're not in it that much. They're in it, but, like, it's not as invasive, which I think is a good thing. But some people are like, oh, you know, like, I wanted to see more of like, Donut Lord or whatever. And it's like, well, it's not Donut Lord the movie. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I think they would actually make some money if they made a Donut Lord movie. Which makes me kind of sad because that's not a real Sonic character, but whatever. So yeah, depending on how you feel about the humans, that might affect how much you like the movie, but to me, it didn't bother me at all. And when they are used, it's actually, like, fairly funny. Like, the comedy's actually good. I don't think we needed as much of it, but what's there is good. It's not like the first two where it's like a serious moment where you get messed up by something ridiculous. Yeah, I'm trying not to say too much, but there were a few scenes in Sonic 1 and 2 I didn't really like. And this one, I can't think of a scene I don't like. I don't know that it's, like, the best one, but I think it has the advantage that there's not a scene where I'm like, can we skip this scene? Like, there's, like, really not. There might be, like, one or two, but, like, for the most part, I'm not like, can we skip this one? Like, everything felt needed in some way. He is, and actually Agent Stone, I've seen, has been getting a lot of love. Like, he was getting love before this movie, but, like, people even want him to be in the games now as, like, Robotnik's sidekick. And I will admit, it's a role that he does well in all three movies. I think they actually did a better job with him in 3. 2, to me, got a little weird, for lack of a better word. Agent Stone and Robotnik, but, Agent Stone in the first movie, to me, just seemed like comic relief. Like, he was just, like, the guy that followed Robotnik around and held his notebook or whatever. But they actually did a good job of making him a real character in the next two. Oh, hello. Christmas sub. It's not even Christmas yet, but thank you so much. 13 months in a row. Anytime I see that, and I know... you and Shads have both been subscribed to me for like over a year now. Anytime I see that number, though, that is really remarkable that anybody would be subscribed to me for more than like 6 months in a row. So I do sincerely appreciate that as I play this Nights and Dreams pinball table. But yeah, no, I got to see Sonic Movie 3 on my birthday because it came out on my birthday. I think it comes out in Germany on the 25th, actually, on Christmas. And other countries, it comes out around the same time. America, I think, actually got it first, or maybe London did by, like, a day, but it was huge. People have said that, but honestly, I think that's an insult to Agent Stone, because I really don't like Orbot and Cubot. Like, they are super-duper annoying. I feel like Agent Stone, despite some of his antics, is actually pretty smart. And I think Cubot and Orbot are just morons, which is kind of funny, because they're robots made by Robotnik, so they should be smarter. Like, anytime Robotnik yells at Orbot and Cubot in the games, I'm like, didn't you make them? Like, just make them not annoying. Like, you made a robot that annoys you. Like, are you sure you're a genius? Like, I blame my computer for all kinds of issues, but I didn't make this computer. Like, if I was going to make a computer, I would make it with, streaming and gaming in mind. So, if it had any issues, that would be my fault for not putting the right graphics stuff in it or whatever. Same thing with Robotnik. Cubot and Orbot are a couple of loudmouths that drive them nuts. Well, maybe make them not that. Like, you're a mad scientist. Like, make a robot that is what you want. If you can make a robot, you can make a robot that you like, right? I mean, I get that Robotnik's not always successful, but come on. My Cubot got so much love with it. I mean, I'll be fair, they did fit in more there. I don't know, I'm very weird with Sonic humor in general. Like, this game to me had the perfect tone, and it's not really a funny game at all. Like, there's a couple moments here and there, but I don't really like humor in Sonic. Like, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes, yeah, it works, but Sonic movies, I think, do a decent job of it. Sonic Boom, again, since the whole show is funny, having Orbot and Cubot in there didn't really affect anything in a negative way because they were already going to be there. That's what I mean. Yeah, I didn't mind them. But I don't know. Well, he doesn't make the robots smarter than him. Just make them smart enough. Like, if I'm building a robot to, I don't even know, what do they freaking do? Like, what did Cubot and Orbot even supposed to do? Like, what is their day-to-day responsibility? Like, oversee Robotnik's factories or something? Like, they should at least be smart enough to do that. He's not trying to build a doctor robot. He's just trying to build something that can oversee his operations, and yet they're complete morons. So it's like, oh, that's a fail. Like, I'm not saying they need to know advanced calculus or anything, but, like, they should at least be able to do their basic job. They annoy him because he wanted them to, because that helps. Being annoyed helps us. I mean, that wouldn't work for me. I mean, I personally, if I struggle to think of an idea, I'm not like, what would help me right now? Being annoyed. Although they do say, well, what is the expression? Like, necessity is what, like, causes inventions or something. So I guess, yeah, these guys are so annoying, I just want to shut them up. Like, coming up with a new invention. I don't know. I guess I could see that. But getting back to the Agent Stone comparison, I don't think Agent Stone's that annoying. I find him a little annoying sometimes in the movies, but, like, he's not. Maybe it's just because he's a human and not a robot. You understand that humans are going to be flawed and do some weird stuff, but I don't know. I think Agent Stone is 10 times more competent than Orbot or Cubot. And both of them, I think they're actually dumber. I think it's like kind of double trouble to make two of those things. Anyway. We're way getting ahead in the Sonic lore here because this game takes place way before any of that stuff. There was no Orbot or Cubot at this point. Orbot and Cubot weren't even schematics yet. Metal Sonic was Robotnik's only robot at this point, and as we know, if any of us have played Sonic Heroes, Metal Sonic ends up kind of betraying Sonic, so I guess, or Robotnik, so I guess, yes. I guess maybe it is possible to make a robot that's too efficient, and the robot concludes that you, Dr. Robotnik, are not worthy. That's a trope that's been done in a lot of shows where the villain will make some robot that ends up kind of going haywire because its own programming tells it that it's smarter than the human that created it. So yeah, I guess I get that. There's got to be a happy medium, right? Wasn't there also the Silver Robot Sonic and Sonic 2? Yes, I thought you were talking about the movie. I'm like, there's no robot in that, but yes. Basically, that robot is called Silver Sonic. It's never really said. He appears in the comics more, and that is a pretty formidable boss, actually, in that game, with the buzzsaw quills and the jetpacks. I love that robot. I love that design. Obviously, I prefer Metal Sonic, but Silver Sonic's awesome. He's a bloodthirsty, not very talkative robot that just wants to kill Sonic and just happens to look like him. But yes, I love that guy. The orange eyes, the kind of roller skate-like shoes. Good pick. Good reference there. Actually, well, I don't know how long you guys are going to stay on the stream, but there is an Easter egg related to that in this game, but it takes a long time to get to, so we'll see. Which I also loved. Like, this game does not, even though it feels like it takes place in a different timeline, it does not deny the past of Sonic. Like, there are references to Sonic 2 and 3 here. Like, this is clearly supposed to be a sequel to the original trilogy. I don't know how many years later, but, Robotnik, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all know each other. Amy obviously knows them. Gamma and Big the Cat are the only new characters in this game in terms of protagonists. They do stuff, but they're not, like, involved with Sonic as much, although I shouldn't say that because Gamma's story is one of my favorites in all of Sonic, even though it doesn't really have a big bearing on the main plot. It's still just really cool to see the point of view of a Robotnik one. Yeah, I figured you were. It's a well-known Easter egg. I believe you see Metal Sonic, though. Like, you actually see... Not Metal Sonic, Silver Sonic. You do see Metal Sonic, but I think you also see Silver Sonic if you look at the tubes in Robotnik's base, like his prototype or something. There was always, like, rumors of some secret ending. It doesn't exist, but, like, you know, if you get all the emblems or if you do something, you can actually, like, play as him, or, like, there's, like, a secret end story where he actually escapes and you fight him, but it doesn't exist. It'd be cool, though, because, like, they're there. It's such a tease that all the Robot Sonics are, like, in the game as sort of like an Easter egg. But they never escape as far as well, no, they don't. I was going to say that was always a thing, like, you know, early 2000s gaming, whatever. Even with Smash Brothers, you know, like, can you unlock Sonic and Tails in Melee? Like, you can't. But, like, it was always, like, this mystery because, you know, strategy guides were a thing, but there wasn't, you know, that much credibility yet. There weren't a million websites reporting on games, so it's like, you know, Joe Schmo in his bedroom is saying, oh, I unlocked, you know, Metal Sonic in Sonic Adventure by beating the final boss and, like, going back to Robotnik's base or something. Like, it doesn't exist, but you can dream. Always like those Easter egg rumors. See, that part there is helpful because it shows you what you have to do next. Like, after this point, I was never lost in this game. Because the game does a pretty good job of showing you relatively where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do. It's just that one part, really, in the beginning, where they're just like, well, Robotnik's gone, now what do we do? Just happened to drop the emerald that I spent 15 minutes collecting. Thanks, Sonic. Fastest thing alive, but not the most secure thing, because maybe if you went a little slower, you wouldn't have dropped the emerald. Oh, no, Eggman. But no, I love stuff like that. I mean, I feel like I can't really spoil this game for you guys. You probably played it, you haven't, like... There's a lot of the plot of this game references the old games. Just like the Mew under the truck. See, that's something I wouldn't know.
What happened to that emerald we just had?
Yeah.
I guess
This Eggman's got one of them, but the other one's safe.
That guy must be desperate.
I love the way he delivers that line, but the other one's safe. But yeah, there's always those rumors like Mew. I had heard that as a kid. I didn't really play the original Pokemon games. I played them a little bit later in life, but I always heard there was like a rumor that you could get Mew in the original Pokemon game. Maybe you can. I really don't know, but I've heard that like he's there, and if you do the right stuff, you can like fight him or get him or whatever. Oh yeah, by all accounts, Shads, in this plot line, Robotnik should totally win. Because Robotnik, again, not to spoil too much, but like, even when they get the emeralds, Robotnik is usually a step or two ahead. I will give him credit for that. That's why I love this game. Robotnik's like a real villain. Like, you can't just like goof around on him like he does now and expect to win. Like, yeah, Sonic still wins, obviously, but Robotnik gets like all the emeralds before they do, even if he just cheats to do it. There's never a point until literally the very end of the game where you have more emeralds than Robotnik. Like, he always has more than you. Glitch to find and catch Mew. It has nothing to do with the truck near the ship. Ah, there we go. Like, I knew, obviously, Mewtwo was in the games, but I didn't know if Mew was, like, playable or, well, not playable, but catchable. Because he was Pokemon, still is Pokemon 151. It's only available. Ah, see, this is the stuff I missed. Growing up as a Nintendo. Growing up as a Sega kid, you know, this was my world here. So if there was like a secret, you know, Sonic Adventure thing to do, I'd be all over it. But Pokemon, I mean, I like the game, like I like the cards. I never had a Game Boy, so I actually did like Pokemon, but I never had a Nintendo console at that point, so I could not play the games. I liked the show, I liked the cards, I, you know, collected them. So I mean, I know, obviously, I knew who Mewtwo was. I saw the Pokemon First movie, but never played them. And the only time I did play them was later when I got a Game Boy Advance and I got Fire Red. I mean, I might have played the original Game Boy Color Red for a little bit on a friend's Game Boy, but yeah, I mean, my entire 90s, I did not have a Super Nintendo, did not have a Game Boy Color, did not have any of that. My first Nintendo console, I want to say it was Game Boy Advance in 2001, and then later GameCube. Before that, it was all Sega, Genesis, Dreamcast, Game Gear. You know, so I'd like to think I got to... That's kind of the thing. I like to think I got some stuff everyone else missed out on, but then, of course, Sega would re-release all those games anyway, so you guys didn't miss anything. Because you got to play them all later, whether you had a Sega console or not. You can't be caught without the glitch. It's kind of easy to do. Yeah, that's how it goes sometimes. Crazy to me, I think. It hasn't even been an hour and I'm up to this level. I used to feel like this part took an hour just to get to, but... I didn't start the game right away, so really I've only been playing for like 45 minutes since I started streaming. And again, this is also as somebody who has the foresight of knowing how this game goes. I also have 15 lives somehow. I don't even know how I did that. Oh, that was weird. Anyways. I mean, this game would be fun enough if this was it, but there's so much to do outside of the main game. All the emblems to collect. You know, if you're into the chow race, which I'm not, but if you're into the chow gardening and raising of them, you can do that. It's not as in-depth as SA2, but you can, you know, raise them, make them stronger or whatever, so they do better in races. My first Nintendo console. Okay, yeah, so I don't want to say you grew up in the same era as me. You might be a little younger, but I remember the N64 era. And I do remember, as a Sega fan, being a little jealous, like, oh, you know, N64, super cool, 3D-looking thing. You know, the controller was a little chunky, but so what? And then Sega answered back with the Dreamcast in '99, and I'm like, oh, man, this is, like, even better, because, I'm sorry, but the Dreamcast is better than the N64. I'm just gonna say it. Game Boy Color was always neat, though. I always found it funny how, you know, Nintendo made a color handheld that, you know, didn't chew through batteries every 5 minutes. Game Gear, I think, has better graphics, but it doesn't really matter because you'll only see them for like an hour before the batteries die again. Slight exaggeration, but the Game Gear was known for bad battery life. And it didn't take like 2 AA's like most handheld consoles of that time. It took 6. It took 6 AA batteries to power a Game Gear for maybe an hour. And that's not even, like, you'd put those things in, maybe a half an hour in, you'd start to see the blinking red light that your battery was dying. And that's if you had the sound off. Yeah. And Sega thought this was a good idea for a portable console to only last an hour not plugged in. It was goated. I mean, I like the N64. Again, maybe it's just something I don't get. Like, the N64 games that I play, that I've played since they've been re-released, I'm like, this is nothing special. Again, Star Fox 64, yes. Mario Kart 64, pretty good game. And again, there's maybe like 5 or 10 other ones, but other than that, I'm not really like seeing it. And I'm not even talking about the graphics. I think GoldenEye might be one of the best games on N64. That's not even a Nintendo like official release. I've never played Donkey Kong 64. I've heard that's a pretty good game. I think Banjo-Kazooie's pretty good. I'm not saying it didn't have anything, but I don't know. I just didn't get into it. It just wasn't my style. Dreamcast was definitely, and still is, my style. Still has all those fun, colorful games, but also has a more diverse catalog of games, in my opinion. More fighting games, more racing games that are, like, really top-notch for the time. And, I mean, fucking Sonic Adventure, what else do you need? Give me Sonic Adventure over Mario 64 any day. I'm sorry. Mario 64 is a good game. It's good. I'm not going to say great. It has some good moments. Sonic Adventure, though, like, come on. Like, it's just so much better. Better story, more to do, better, like, everything, really. But, I mean, I've also grown up preferring Sonic games, so that shouldn't be a surprise.
Better get going.
Hold on. Alright. So, apparently my headset didn't fail, but also something happened there. I lost sound for a bit, so rather than sit here and try to fool with it for a while, I switched microphones. Not officially, but yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad. Because I'm still wearing my headset. This happens once in a while. It's really stupid annoying, but this does happen sometimes. It just usually doesn't happen during a stream. And if it happens during a stream, I really don't have another option other than to just switch audio sources.
The train headed for Station
Absolutely
Square
ridiculous,
will be
but anyway.
departing soon.
I mentioned that this game references past Sonic plots, and this kind of does. In fact, it really does, with Knuckles, being your enemy for a second here. Mainly because Robotnik tricked him again, which is, of course, a reference to Sonic 3. Wow!
Something bugging you?
I also unironically like this song, the Knuckles rap. I know now it's kind of like a cliche or whatever, but...
What?
What?
Let's
just see you take him, huh? And then, of course, this is the very short, almost unnecessary fight that he could have not even done, where he goes, oh no, oh no.
Oh no.
He literally just stands there. I think he might glide if you give him enough time. He's already dead. Like, that fight is only challenging, not even challenging. I don't think I've ever died to that fight in my entire life. Whoa, no!
Chaos Emeralds.
That's how Robotnik gets all of them. Good on Robotnik, though, He's trying to create some drama so that he can snatch, fly in there and snatch what he needs.
Oh,
Like taking candy from a baby.
It really is like doing that.
that's a Chaos Emerald.
Good job, Knuckles. You know what a Chaos Emerald looks like. You just don't know how to stop one from going to Robotnik.
You practically gave them to me.
He really does, at least in this part.
Hold it right there, creep. You can't get away with this.
I mean, he has to know his enemies, which he does. He knew Sonic and Tails were going to get into motion by telling him all that stuff, and then he knew he could trick Knuckles into getting more for him. And also in Gamma's story, we learned that he has his robots trying to get him. So, I mean, he's very resourceful, I gotta say.
Chaos.
You don't have to do shit, because he's got freaking these guys to do it, and then he's also got his own robots to do it. And oh, by the way, he's got a giant hulking water-based bodyguard named Chaos to,
These are for
defend
you,
him.
my friend.
Why Chaos goes along with this is never really addressed. I know he wants, like, revenge. He's kind of like Shadow in that way, like, he's very full of rage, but, like, eventually he does just kind of go off on Robotnik. Because he's not a robot or even, like, a normal human being. He's a creature, fueled by very basic emotions of either love or hate. That's what I mean. Like, he's not really like, oh, I love Robotnik, yet he follows him around this whole game and just accepts Chaos Emeralds from him. He's like, yeah, if you're gonna keep feeding me power, I'll take it, but I'm not really your buddy. It's just funny that at one point, like, earlier in the game, he doesn't just, like, take Robotnik and start beating the crap out of him. It's like befriending a lion. It's like if I, like, my best friend is a lion, And it's like, yeah, that lion's nice to me until I stop feeding him or something, then he bites my arm off, like, I would not mess with this. Like, I know Robotnik usually dabbles in mechanical things, but, like, he doesn't really know what this creature's capable of. How are the cute baby, like, chows? I mean, you want me to spoil it, or I'm trying to think, actually, of what they are. There are a number of flashbacks in this game that you see as all the characters to kind of piece it together. From what I understand, the Chow were, like, these little creatures back in ancient times. He was, like, their bodyguard. Like, he's, like, the king of the Chows, basically. And you see in those flashbacks, I don't think you'll see it in this particular story, but some of the flashbacks go into more detail, that there's, like, this big war going on. And the Chow end up being, like, the collateral damage. Like, they end up getting the Master Emerald altar gets destroyed, so the Chow get, like, they don't get, some of them get killed, but it's not good, basically. Long story short, the Chow all get, like, mangled. They're caught up in this war that they want no part of, all because the Echidna tribe are greedy and they want all the Chaos Emeralds. They want, ultimate power, basically. And so Chaos gets enraged, and he ends up turning into Perfect Chaos and basically destroys them. He basically kills, like, all the old Echidna tribe, which is why, Knuckles is considered one of the last descendants of the Echidna tribe. There aren't that many surviving. Perfect Chaos does that, and then Tikal, who's the ancient girl you see in this game, basically seals herself and Chaos in the Master Emerald. Which, to be fair, this is in the narrative, because in Knuckles' story, the Master Emerald is destroyed, and it's destroyed because Robotnik wants to get Chaos out. That's how Chaos gets out of the Master Emerald. So the story actually begins with Knuckles' story. By the time Sonic's story starts, Chaos has already been free for a little bit. And you find out later in the game, to a degree, the stone tablets that predict all this. There's like a prophecy, you'll see it later in the game, that is like a, Onichan. That's a good Easter egg, actually. I like that. That's how I understand it. Although Sonic Frontiers actually complicates this by making a whole race of people, and I forget what they call them, but they look like Chaos, like they're actually related to them. They're all these water-based creatures with spikes on them. So I don't know if they're all related or if Chaos was like his own thing just on Earth to protect the Chow. That part doesn't make sense to me. But then again, Sonic Frontiers like main story, like before Sonic gets there, is supposed to take place like millions of years ago. So,
Until we meet again,
so
my friend.
oh god, there's so many questions here. Knuckles is not super old because like the Echidna tribe that died to Chaos was like, I don't know how many generations ago. Like, some of them survived. Like, obviously, some of them would have had to survive to have more offspring. So I don't know how old Knuckles is, but he's not that old. He's just like one of the few living echidnas in contemporary times. Black Doom has nothing to do with this game. Black Doom, we want to get into Shadow Origins. I mean, that's a valid question. I don't think Knuckles is that old, though. He's connected to the Echidna tribe, but it's very loose. Unless we're talking about the Sonic movie lore. In the Sonic movie lore, they do have, like, Knuckles' father is basically the guy that's in this game. So they kind of get rid of that whole ancient Echidna tribe. Like, they're not that old in that game, in that movie. But in this game, you know, some of the flashbacks you see are supposed to be super duper old. In fact, these Mystic Ruins, I think, are supposed to be, like, you know, where they once lived. Anyway, I'm gonna go up here now. For his age, he's young. Yeah, maybe. Maybe, like, you know, they live 1,000 years, so he's like 300 years old, so he looks like he's 30. I don't know. Black Doom is his whole other thing. He's not related to this game. They kind of retconned him into Shadow's origin, because originally Shadow was made by Gerald Robotnik, and it's not really explained how. Then in Shadow the Hedgehog, the game, you kind of learn that he has, like, some of Black Doom's DNA in him, and that's why he has, like, the red stripe and the black appearance. Because it's like the Black Comet or something. I don't know. It's kind of weird. And, you know, Black Doom's only goal is really to conquer Earth. Like, he doesn't really have this deep motivation or anything. It's just like he's an alien. So he wants to conquer another planet. So there it is. And why he works with Gerald Robotnik, I also don't know. These are all valid questions, though. Sonic, hop in. Don't mind if I might. I'm doing my best to be like a Sonic lore expert, but even the lore contradicts itself so many times that I can't even answer it. Because even with Chaos was supposed to be like the only one of that creature there was. But then Sonic Frontiers introduces a whole tribe of them, so it's like, same thing with Knuckles. Is Chaos just like a descendant of those, or I don't know. Apparently there were like 1 million Chaos creatures in ancient times that brought the Chaos Emeralds to Earth. I don't freaking understand it. And I've played all of Frontiers. So I don't know where the Titans come from and all this other nonsense they introduced. Same thing with Black Doom and Nephilis from Sonic 06. This one and that one. Sometimes they go a little overboard with the lore. And I wouldn't even care if they toned it down afterwards, but they actually doubled down on it. So like, not only was this idea stupid, we're going to make it worse by introducing somebody else who shouldn't be alive or shouldn't be here right now. Like, what? More right now. Like, at least with Shadow and Sonic Adventure 2, like, all those events are supposed to take place within, like, 50 years of modern time. You know, like, Shadow was created 50 years ago, which, yeah, it's a long time, but it's not this inconceivable amount of time. The events of Chaos' story are supposed to take place, like, 2,000 years ago. Like, where none of these people should be alive anymore, and there really is only 1 or 2 that appear in the game, but, like, none of these people should be alive. Not because they got blown up, because they died. People don't live 2,000 years. I mean, that's just this game, and then Sonic Frontiers, some 20 years later, decided, no, we're going to do something else now. Right now, we're, of course, playing one of 2 iconic Sky Chase mini-games, based on the popular Sonic level from Sonic 2 with the same name. This one's a pretty simplistic Star Fox ripoff. There is another one later in the game that's a little more difficult. That actually used to give me a lot of trouble as a kid. I used to get stuck on the second act of this a lot. Really weird with me and Sonic games growing up. Like, I'd always be good at the first couple levels, then there'd be like this part in the middle that I would find very difficult, but then if I got past that, I would actually be able to beat the whole game. It wasn't like a steady upward difficulty. It was always like, you know, easy, maybe a little challenge, then easy again, then more challenge, and then like moderate challenge. Like, it was not like a straight arrow, you know, from easy to difficult. Not always. Some games are. Some Sonic games, especially Sonic Unleashed. Sonic Unleashed gets ridiculously difficult in the last like level and a half or so. And it's actually a decent difficulty game the whole way through. In fact, Sonic Unleashed might be one of the few Sonic games post-adventure that has a good narrative. that doesn't really get in the way of anything. Like, I can't really think of a way in which Sonic Unleashed contradicts anything before or after it, which was smart, you know, because it is a decent narrative. But it's not like, oh, what happened to Chaos? It's like, no, none of that stuff has anything to do with anything. It's a different creature, different circumstances. I don't know how we got on Sonic Unleashed, but then they started to go the other way, where, you know, Sonic Colors and Sonic Generations had such a bare bones story that it couldn't possibly affect the canon, because it's like, Sonic and Tails have to stop Robotnik from doing X, Y, and Z. And it was like, okay, that could fit in anywhere in the timeline. 67%! That's not a good percent. Now we get to one of my favorite parts of the Sonic Adventure story, which is, I mean, again, not the most complex thing, but Sonic and Tails finally aren't, you know, right next to each other. You know, they get separated here. So now Sonic's got to go on his own quest, Tails has to go on his own quest, and again, it's not a super creative or long time that they're apart, but I always thought this was kind of neat, you know, Sonic having to figure things out without Tails, Tails having to figure things out without Sonic, because at this point, they've been together for the majority of the game.
Tails? Tails!
So, first of all, they don't know if the other one is okay, and second of all, they don't know where to find them. So, I always thought this was really cool, you know, like, Robotnik seemingly won. Like, he blew up their plane, he separated them. I don't know how Sonic survived that, by the way.
He's okay.
He just fell headfirst in the sand. I know it's sand and not rock, but still, that would probably kill you. Oh yeah, that little girl there, I have no idea why she's there. Can I talk to her? Did she do anything? No, if I go that way, I'm going to go to Emerald Coast. She's just there. I almost never talk to the NPCs in this game. I don't know if they have anything new to say after a certain point. Should I buy a swimsuit? I can't make up my mind, and the store's going to close soon. Alright, they don't say anything. They don't say anything relevant to the story. They're not like, gee, are you okay? You just fell from a plane. Nope, they're like, whatever. Now you just kind of walk around the city, and then eventually, in fact, very soon, we're going to meet another Sonic classic character, or classic Sonic character. And there she is, would you look at that? It's Amy Rose, sporting her Dreamcast look, which at the time was a new look.
Amy.
She's grown up from the early games, where she just had, like, the little skirt or whatever. Like, look like she was, like, 6. Now she looks like she's 12. Even though Sonic's the same age. In fact, this was explained in the comics in a very funny way, actually. In the games, it doesn't really make a difference, to be honest, but in the comics, they always featured her, like, kitty design, you know, like her with the little, you know, whatever. So then all of a sudden, you know, like, when they did the Sonic Adventure arc in the Archie comics, to make her older, or appear older, she apparently makes a wish on a ring, and she, like, wishes herself to be, like, 13, so it's just kind of weird. I don't even remember why it happens, or how it happens. But, you know, I guess for a comic, you do kind of have to explain why your character all of a sudden looks different when not that much time has gone by. But in the games, it never really bothered me. It's like, alright, well, this is just her new design. Like, you know, the old games, she was depicted a different way. She's had this look ever since, too, so it's not like, you know, they really changed her every game. It was really just like a 1 or 2 time change. Alright, here we go. I actually kind of like this character, even though he doesn't do much. Zero. He's technically part of the E100 series that includes E102 Gamma. I think he's E100. I think that's why they call him Zero. Hey, that's just like you, Zero. Because he is the zero one. Like, there's E101, E102, and E100 is just, you know, 100 with a 0. Again, this was not the most clever writing, but compared to what we have now, I said I wasn't going to do that, but I am. I said I wasn't going to be like, oh, well, this is better than the new ones. Kind of is, though. I can't say it's not. Sonic Adventure for the win. I don't know. All those people that want to say Sonic had a rough transition to 3D clearly did not play this game. Actually, they did. Because IGN and all these outlets that want to crap on Sonic now gave this game like a 9 out of 10. You can look that up for yourself. I'm not making it up. This game got amazing reviews when it came out. And then, you know, 5-10 years later, oh, Sonic had a rough transition to 3D. I'm like, well, then I guess you didn't play the game you said you played. Anyhow, this is a complete detour for the story, by the way, if anyone noticed. We're basically in an amusement park right now that has robots in it. I don't know why. And these robots have commandeered all these little bumper cars. But now we get to go on a fun little racing adventure. If we're not careful, I also thought it was really clever how the rings add up the number on the back of the car. But if we're not clever, if we're not fast enough, we can get bumped from behind or from the side even, like I just did. I don't know how it works, because you don't always get hurt. I think if you're going slower than them, they hurt you. Yeah, see, like, I'm actually getting my butt kicked here. I gotta get more rings. It doesn't help if these lights get in your eye. Or get in your view, rather. I always loved lighting in old games, like, Yeah, it's not accurate, but it works. Like that spotlight is so like janky. The little street lights on in the game, like. But I mean, you understand that they're street lights. You know, like I don't know. I like it. Just like how lighting in some old games kind of looks like purplish instead of like a real night sky would be more black. But it works for this game. It works for other games too. Yeah, maybe it's just because this is how I played it. Like when they remake some of these, like even when they remade like Space Colony Arc for Shadow Generations, it looked cool. But like I almost liked the over-exaggerated like blue and silver paneling that you saw on the Dreamcast and GameCube because of the lighting effects. You know, they weren't as complicated. Like, when you see what those places would really look like, you know, on a PS5 with the nice, shiny, clean edges, it's like, yeah, that's great, but it now kind of loses some of that personality. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too picky. Like, if they remade this game, and I've always said I would like to see it, but, like, would this place look as cool, or would it be, like, kind of a very sterile, like, you know, racetrack? You know, it would look realistic, but, I mean, as realistic as something with a bunch of asteroids floating around can look. Now we're getting to another one of my favorite parts of the game that's literally just another spectacle. So much of this game is spectacle, but I love it. Like, you could have this level without this part, and it really wouldn't change anything. But, I don't know, I like watching Sonic ride the roller coaster. It lasts like maybe 10, 20 seconds, but it's just a fun little thing. Gets you ready for the level, because now we're on the on-foot part. I always thought that was cool, too. You have, like, the racing part, then you get off the go-kart, now you're on foot. Now it's more of a regular Sonic level. You got these exploding barrels, you got these little bowling pin things you can knock over and get bonus rings. I already have 18 lives, by the way. Let's see how I do. These enemies here I never understood. They're just kind of there. They give you like a little moment to hit them, otherwise they always have a shield up. These things too. Let's say maybe the enemies. I'm trying to think of like weak points of this game. Some of the enemies are just kind of there. They didn't really like do a lot. But I mean, that's such a like that's not really a major thing. And this game to me was great. I'll probably be saying that for the rest of this playthrough. I mean, it's not like they do nothing. I mean, the enemies do pose a threat at times, especially the final levels, but in these levels, they're just there. Like, look at that. I just took that enemy out. They were just standing there. Another extra life. I mean, how am I 19? Wasn't I just at 15? I'm at 19 lives now? Alright, whatever. I know you get extra lives for every 100 rings. I don't know if it's every 100 or if it's like in the original games. For 100 and 200 you do, and after that you don't. I also don't care. Because... I like taking that higher path. Doesn't matter, because I am having fun. I am having the fun. Also, yes, there is popping in this game. I realized it later in life. It's still not as bad as Frontiers. It's on a 20-something-year-old console, so whatever. Might be a secret over here. The camera's really not letting me go over here very well. Okay, that was fun. See, I predicted, because I actually have played this game on stream before, like the whole Sonic story. I predicted this would take about like 2 hours maybe to play through it all. I'd say we're at like maybe a little more than halfway through the game, and we're at 1 hour 18. I also kind of took my time getting into it. I'm not in a hurry, but I'll probably be a little off on that. Might end up being more like 2.5 hours to get through the whole game. Oh, shite! That maybe lose some progress. I'm playing this very relaxed right now. I don't remember how I used to play it. That's the one that is kind of, I don't want to say it sucks, but, you know, you'll never get that mindset back. You know, like, I try to play these games like I'm a kid again, and I'm seeing it for the first time. Like, you'll never get that mindset back. Even with games I see now for the first time, like, I enjoy them. Like, I can't help but think, like, if I saw Astrobot for the first time as a kid, compared to, you know, I saw it now, and I was still impressed by it, but... you never get that back. You can pretend, you can be like, oh my god, it's amazing, but like, yeah, this game will always be fun to me, but it'll never feel like it did in 99, 2000, you know, even a couple years later. Like, you know, eventually I got new games, you know, and yeah, I'm not trying to be like a weird downer about it, because I do still love this game. The only thing that really came close to me was the first time I played VR, and specifically Astrobot Rescue Mission, where that was kind of a Sonic Adventure moment. It was like, I've never seen anything like this. I want to see what else it does. I'm like amazed by every little gimmick. But now, even with that game, I love it, but
I've lost Amy.
I've seen it. You know, and same thing with Astrobot. I've seen a million platformers. I thought you'd have a larger Dreamcast collection. I mean, I assume you're talking about At My Party. At My Party, you saw maybe a third, if not less, of that collection. I purposely brought out like maybe 5 or 10 games that were from past Christmases or were significant to me in some way. I only brought out the WF game because I knew you and somebody else would enjoy it, but also welcome to the stream. My actual Dreamcast collection, we're probably looking at 35, 40 games. I just wasn't going to bring all that upstairs. If there was something you wanted to play, I don't know if there was, but I might have had it. I don't know. Leave the collector's edition at home? I mean, we are at home, or I'm at home. Hopefully you're at home. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're out doing something, but we appreciate having you here. Look at that giant key card. Look at that thing. Holy crap. Anyways, speaking of collector's editions and leaving things at home, many people left their gifts or parts of their gifts at my party, and it's not the first time that's happened. I have several gifts on layaway right now from Bobby's Christmas Chaos. Look at how big the freaking card is, like the size of Sonic. Imagine like, oh, we need you to get this like ID card. It's like that big. Like that would be ridiculous. Almost as ridiculous as this level. Dom and I thought of a few games, but I forget them now. Oh god, I just got that. Alright. There you go. Yes, that was a funny, unintentionally funny moment there. There you go. More right now. So, how you doing, IDM Pod? 2 days till Christmas. You excited? It's almost more like 1 day till Christmas now. I mean, we're more than halfway through this day. Did they leave Bobby's, Chaos gifts? I had to actually think about what the difference is. Frontiers and... Oh, okay, sweet. Now, I'm assuming that's your first time playing the game. For some reason, I thought you'd already played Frontiers, but... Yeah, Frontiers is a good game. It's a good game. I know I've spent a lot of time being like, you know, oh, Frontiers not as good as this game. Well, it's not, but it's still a good game. As long as you can ignore some of the story details that don't really add up. Oh my god, that was... Again, I know exactly what you're talking about with Mama's confusion. To be fair, nah, I can't. Anything I say will not be funny. Yes, it will be portrayed in a very racist way. Not racist, but offensive. Anyways, it was a fun party. That is all we need to know, and that's all I'm going to say. I'll say it. Alright, say it up. I also keep hearing the sound of my computer, like when a USB thing gets disconnected, like that. Now stuff's getting reconnected. I don't know what it is. Like I'm watching my stream, I'm watching my camera, so it's not my camera, it's not my microphone. Something's getting disconnected and reconnected, despite me not touching it. Which you missed the beginning of the stream, but we actually got to see that happen in real time. Nice. I will warn you, it starts pretty slow, but once you get into it, it's pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, if you're not like a huge Sonic fan, definitely waiting for a sale on Frontiers is worth it. Because, I mean, I love Sonic, obviously. I think Frontiers is a good game. So, of course, I bought it, like, opening day at $60 or whatever. But if you're just more of a casual Sonic fan, it's definitely worth the $30 or $40 it is now, or whatever, maybe even less. I mean, there's still enough content in there to justify the $60, but definitely pick it up if you can find it cheaper. And you have any interest in Sonic at all, it'll be worth it. It's, again, don't expect a good story, like SA1 and 2, but Chaos video in 2025. So, I don't want to make predictions, but I think it's going to be out a lot sooner than that. And I say that because this was one of the easiest videos to film, because I didn't have 3 cameras going, I didn't have, you know, all the different effects, I didn't have, you know, etc. 25, oh, that's a great deal then. I mean, even like Superstars is down to like 20 now, which, again, Superstars is not nearly as long a game, but... Yeah, $25 for that. I wonder what content would make it worth $70. Well, technically Frontiers was $70, we got the deluxe version, but as far as the answer to that question, the fact that the main campaign of Frontiers is roughly 25 to 30 hours long, it can be even longer to find everything, so... Again, it depends on what you want to do. If you're not entertained by Frontiers gameplay loop, then no amount of content will make it worth it, because you'll be bored of it. But if you like it, like I did, and you like the exploration of the combat, there's plenty of that in the game. Like, they don't stop throwing things at you after the first world. Like, there's a lot to do. Not to mention replays, the final horizon, which is like an optional second ending you can play through. That, in my opinion, that's what would make it worth $70. I'm not saying that's for everybody, but that goes for any game. Not necessarily the quantity, but the quality of that content. And I think that it's long enough and good enough to be worth that money. But again, obviously for $25, absolutely. Go for it, because at that point, you're looking at like $1 an hour. If you beat the game in 25 hours, you're paying $1 an hour to play it. So, I mean, that's not bad at all. And that's if you play it once. I put about 150 hours, maybe 120 hours in the Frontiers. And that's somebody who claims to not like the game. And I do like the game, but like I have so many complaints about Frontiers, you would think I wouldn't like it. But despite all that, I put in over 100 hours like on the game, so I couldn't have hated it that much. I have this weird back and forth with Frontiers. You'll notice that. I haven't streamed it in a while. I do play it once in a while, but I think it is a good springboard for better things. I think Shadow Generations was a more realized game, even though it's not as long. Technically not dollar, but Europe. Yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, that noise has really annoyed me now. I know you guys can't hear it on stream, but like the noise of like the USB, like little disconnect noise, reconnect noise, like it gets me like confused. Like, what's getting disconnected? Everything's still working. Fingers crossed. Sonic. I always thought this was gonna be a boss fight. I really did. First time I played this, I thought this was gonna be a boss fight, and then it just isn't.
What's happening here?
Like Sonic's like, oh, I'm gonna show you, and then like, nope, it's over. Also, for reasons I don't understand, Robotnik's music is like, what do you call this music? Like elevator music? It's like this like funky little loop.
Stop!
The evil Robotnik, everybody. I hate weak USB. That's obviously what it is, but I don't know what is doing it. And I don't want to mess with something that's semi-working, because it seems to be working to me. Audio and video is working. I know it's not my capture card, because my capture card is plugged into another USB port that is, to this point, not giving me an issue. This particular disconnection issue might happen once in a while, but now it's happening like, I don't know, it's happened probably 5 times in the last 20 minutes. But it hasn't affected anything, as far as I can tell. You know, final product might vary, but in my preview, it has not affected anything. I hate that I have to spend half my stream talking about the stream. It completely kills the immersion, you know? Imagine if you were watching a TV show and you're like, oh, damn it, our camera doesn't work. Like, it's like, aren't I supposed to be watching a show? Like, aren't you supposed to be watching, like, a stream? And yet, here we are, with me going, oh, what the hell was that, guys? I think I broke something. It's like, well, wait, weren't we watching a game?
This is the ancient.
And the answer is yes, we were watching a game.
Dash toward the
I'll tell you, speaking of things that ruin the immersion, no sign of Randy since the party. Granted, it's only been a couple days. I'll be interested to see his return. Yeah, if he doesn't bring it up, I'm not going to bring it up. But if he starts saying stuff like, oh, I miss John, or oh, Toaster is awesome, it's like, well, tough shit. Like, you had your chance to see all them. Even if you just hung out for like an hour, you had a chance to see them all, and you didn't. So, whatever I can actually talk about. Yeah, no, I mean, you're a good IDM pod. You are much like me with my gaming preferences and how they change all the time, you are a chameleon. You know, like, you can handle any circumstance, whether I'm playing Call of Duty, or Sonic, or Mario, or this or that. It's fun to have it. Yay, he's running forward. I mean, alright. I thought you meant Randy for a second. I'm like, yeah, when his truck didn't work, he decided to just run to the party. You can still see him going down I-95 now at a brisk pace of 12 miles an hour. Bounce boing cutscene. I do enjoy bounce boing cutscene. This level especially has got a lot of bounce boing cutscene. I love this level. I love this level, and yet I can beat it super fast, so we're not going to be seeing it long.
Some rockets require you to push a switch.
You don't say. Boing. Although they do change the boing noise in this game. Like, I like the comical, you know, 90s, early 90s, like, boing sounds. Like, boing. What was that up there? Oh, well, that's not me going there. 23 lives. Puzzle solved. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. You mean the puzzle where I went, like, a foot around the corner and hit a button? How did I do it? I play this game so long. Like, I knew that one-up was there. Which, I say that like it's a big brag. It's like I better know what that one-up is. I've been playing this over 20 years. It'd be kind of sad if I didn't know. It's always in the same place. there's one thing, like, you know, and that's any old game. Like, old games never change. You know, like, I'll play this in 20 more years, and everything will still be in the same place. That is kind of why I like roguelites, because they're very, like, they have, like, an RNG element to them. So, like, some of the things might be the same, but the enemies and obstacles might be in a different place. You know, this game, these will always be in the same place. Every time. You know, it's still fun, though. That'd be interesting, though. A Sonic roguelite. Oh, shoot. I spent too much time there. It still worked, though. Oh, the windmill. Oh, the 3D effect. I'm actually there on Monkey's... Believe it or not, I mean, yeah, it looks like crap now, but this was the cutting edge. Oh, no, my rings! Oh, jeez. When you land in the lava, your rings just get swallowed right up. Like, sometimes they bounce away, you can maybe get them. No, the lava's like, rings. My favorite. Yeah, there's a clunky-looking windmill in there, isn't there? That's a fun-looking windmill, huh? And now, you think that's scary or realistic. Let's check this out. Well, now we're in the underground part of the level, which I always enjoyed. This game is just one of my favorites. I know it's not the best, but... I know it's not the best, but it's the one we have. Just to make it even more confusing, Sonic 2 is actually one of my favorite games of all time. I'd say it's number 3 in the Sonic series for favorite games of all time, behind 3 and Knuckles and Mania. But I still consider this the best game I've ever gotten for Christmas, even though it doesn't rank as high as Sonic 2, which I also got for Christmas. Even in the... what do you call it? Even in the canon of my own ranking, it's not consistent. It's like, what's your favorite, you know, what's the best Sonic game you got for Christmas? It's this one. What's your favorite, what do you like better, Sonic Adventure 2, Sonic Adventure or Sonic 2? Sonic 2. Did you get Sonic 2 for Christmas? Yes. Then why is Sonic Adventure your favorite Sonic Christmas game? It doesn't make sense, but it does. It's just, it was more significant. This was, you know, like jumping from, you know, if you were a Nintendo guy, this is like jumping from NES to N64. Like, this was like a big deal. So yes, I think Sonic 2 is a better game. It's classic. It's got that appeal to it. You know, you never forget your first. And that was the first video game I ever played. But Sonic Adventure to me, like, I remember getting this game. I was also a little bit older. I was like maybe 6 or 7 years old when I got Sonic 2. I was 11 when I got this game. There's footage of me getting it and playing it, so maybe that kind of clouds my judgment a bit. But when I think of this game, I think of, like, Christmas perfection. Like, I just think about, like, spending 2 weeks, you know, before I went back to school, basically having to be ripped away from my Dreamcast because I was playing this game all the time. You know, and I probably had that with the Genesis too, but this just felt more significant. This was such a leap up in quality. Plus, you know, this game was like, you know, however long it took to beat, you could beat Sonic 2 on Genesis in like 30 minutes. Like, even, you know, it's fun, but you can beat it in less than an hour. This game, we're at an hour and a half. I still haven't beaten it, and there's also 5 more campaigns. So, I mean, I could live in this freaking game if I'm a kid. I just went from a little anthill to a mansion in terms of content. Anyways. Velcro, wait, what? What do you think the Dreamcast is made out of? No Velcro on this. That I know of.
Hey, Sonic!
I need to tell Rem something. The best Sonic game I got for Christmas, none. They got a warm me, Roof and Tooth. Strap hitting us with that, what do you call it, like, I don't know, tough love? I don't know what you call that. It's like a realistic depiction of life, and he makes a good point, you know, like, those are ththings that you need. Obviously, you want to have a good roof over your head, the 2 lashings, I don't know if you want to have those, but they're there. So IDM Pod, you know, he went to the School of Hard Knocks in addition to school. And now we're going to play Act 2, which is the considerably harder version of Act 1 we saw earlier in the stream. See, I'm definitely not going to beat this game in 2 hours. Between the long cutscenes that we still haven't seen yet, and the actual levels, of which there are a few more, yeah, we're not doing that. But we're still having a great time. I don't really give a crap, because it's Christmas Eve tomorrow, and I'm ready to have the time of my life. All day, every day. I got a few more preparations to make tonight. I mean, very minor compared to the stuff I've been doing. Christmas season has gone great. You know, I keep sounding like I'm bragging, but I do hope to pass some of that joy on other people. I'm trying to make every Christmas and every holiday special, not just for me, but for everybody around. Yeah, I want to make sure they're going home with a smile on their face. That's all I can say. I hope I can do that, not just during Christmas, but all year round. This is the time I feel like it's okay to say that kind of stuff, you know? Like, it's like the end of a movie. you know the main characters like each other, but then you never find out until, like, the end where they, like... That's what I feel like Christmas is. It's like, we all like each other, but we don't say it. You know, in March and April, we're like, yeah, how you doing? I'm tired, leave me alone. Like, you know? But December, you know, a couple of weeks of the year, we can finally acknowledge that, hey, you know what? You guys, you know, whether you're my coworkers, my friends, my family, whoever, you guys that I see all the time, and I just take you for granted, like, you're awesome. You know, I'd love to say it more often, but I feel like it would get old really fast. But during Christmas, I can say it. I mean, I should say it, but I can say it. You know, because that's what Christmas is. I've always said Christmas is the happy ending that the year needs. That every experience needs, you know? Obviously, you don't always get a happy ending in life, but... Yeah, see, like, IDM Pod can just honestly tell me I suck and he hates me. But I'm glad, you know, because otherwise I don't know where I stand. So it's time to be honest if nothing else, and sometimes honesty hurts. Just like the honesty of my USB thing plugging out and everything. See, look at that. Everyone hates me. But now we know. See, this is the emotional... What's the word? Like, the emotional airing of grievances. There's a Seinfeld reference, but, you know, you're getting it out. That's fine. That's very healthy. Sometimes emotions aren't positive. That's what happens, you know? High five, hey, there you go. Hey, you know what? You do you. But I try, you know, I do. It's not like, you know, it's not like I'm going to the Caribbean for Christmas or anything. I'm not doing anything extravagant, but I will take, you know, give me like a choice of what to do on almost any day, and I will take a relaxing Christmas morning, you know, sipping on that old-fashioned Coke, which, spoilers, is just Coke in a glass bottle. I'm sure that'll be construed wrong, but old-fashioned Coke, that had cocaine in it. But no, it doesn't, kind of thing. Well, I do get pretty excited about Christmas. But anyway, now, give me the relaxing feel of a Christmas movie on a Christmas night with my Christmas family, you know. I love that I've added the streaming to Christmas. It just adds another layer to things. The more stuff I could do on Christmas, the better. But that doesn't mean, you know, if there was nothing to do, I'd still enjoy it. You know, because I've enjoyed Christmas my entire life. Whether it's been, you know, just opening some gifts or having a feast or doing all of it, whatever it's been, I've always enjoyed it. Hate and love are both strong feelings. A real, yes, that is a good, I've actually, oh, Jesus, got blasted in the face, I was reading that. I've always felt that way as well. Well, not always. But when I was old enough to understand the complexity of that statement. Because as a kid, it was just love and hate. I either love you or I hate you. That's all there is. Watch out. I love how these little, like, whatever, these little tiny bullets that I fire from this gun can destroy that entire airship. I never got a Bobby Likes Me. But you know what, Chads? I like you. And I like you. I like Zero. I like Queen Bee, who may or may not even still be here. I like Big Mac. I like IDM Pod. The only one I might not like is that random person that showed up and followed me and was probably going to sell me graphics if we gave them a chance. But anyway. Now I'm going to go back on my word and be like, well, I shouldn't have to tell you I like you. You should just know it. But no, I do enjoy telling you.
We gotta land on the egg carrier.
Probably just reading a list.
I forgot.
I am not reading a list,
There's no landing
as you
gear
know.
in this mode.
I am not reading a list of any kind. I don't know why you would think that. John, I don't know why you would think that. Oh, that would have been funny. I could have brought my guest book down here.
Wow, this thing is really huge.
Because I did have a guest book for this party, which was a great idea, by the way. That was not my idea, believe it or not. That was my mom. My mom got me a book for my birthday, like a scrapbook,
You're right, my friend.
to put my Christmas logos and other things in, which I think is a great idea. And we started literally the day after with Christmas Chaos and, you know, having people sign the book, which is, of course, a reference to the old dry erase board that I always had up on the refrigerator that people would sign, and I still have those signatures.
Fools! You haven't seen the power.
Ah, he's going to say the thing.
Really has.
Get a load of this.
Get a load of this.
If you think that's funny, wait till he says it 20 more times. Get a load of this. I don't mean me, I mean him. Yeah, I can also say it a lot. Ooh. I never really understood this, to be honest, even as a kid, and especially now. The ship changes shape, which apparently stops me from getting to the other side of the ship. I don't really get that. I feel like I would just be able to run up the side of it. In fact, if anything, the ship got smaller but taller.
This makes it harder for us to get to the bridge.
I don't get that, but whatever. It's just an excuse to have this cool ship level, basically.
I bet you weren't expecting this.
I mean, it's just a change in structure. I mean, yeah, it's different looking, but why couldn't I just get to the other side of the ship still? I'm Sonic. I can't just, like, blast over it or fly over it with tails. Like, whatever. I've always overanalyzed this part of the story. Even when I was younger, I'm like, that looks cool, but why does it stop me from getting there? And there's still an entrance right here, by the way.
This must be the way to the sky.
And in case you didn't know, this must be the way to the sky deck. And wouldn't you know what it is? I used to hate this level. Now I actually really like this level. I used to hate this level because I would lose all my lives on it. And it still is a challenging level with a lot of death pits, but to me that's what makes it fun. Because a lot of the levels in this game, at least for a veteran gamer like myself, are pretty easy. And this one's fairly easy too once you know what you're doing. I also like kind of the change of... Oh, I'm dead. Hey, yo, that's kind of sucked, actually. That was my first life lost in this whole thing. Yeah, he really did. I've always loved that scene, too. I also didn't really understand it either. It was like, Sonic's, gives that annoyed look to Tails for what? For pointing out the obvious? I don't know. Alright, well, I don't mind losing a life, but I mind that it was that stupid. Like, I didn't lose a life because I got shot off the thing or something. It was because I was just too dumb to jump at the right time. More, right now. Yeah, there's all kinds of, like, cool facial nods and things in this game. The animation's pretty good for a late 90s game. Voice acting is hit or miss, but I kind of like it. As cheesy as it can be at times. I got my life back. Who here on this chat has actually beaten this game, just out of curiosity? Like, I'm not saying played it, but actually beaten it. And, you can define if that means beating Sonic's story or beating the whole game. But even if you just want to say beating Sonic's story, because I feel like that's really all you need. Obviously, you get the whole story if you beat everybody's campaign, but... Alright, Sonic's story to me is like the meat of the game. The most stuff happens there. There's a lot to see and do. You get to fight the most bosses, the most levels. Nice. Yeah, I mean, it's a great game. I guess the only weak part would be playing as Big the Cat, which is a required part to get to 100%, but... Alright, I always suck at this part. I don't know why. Like, look at how low that spike ball goes. And even there, you can't, like, go... This is a part I would commonly die on, even now. Alright, there I got kind of lucky. Oh, no! Some of the special moves, yeah. I mean, most of them, but especially the time trials on, like, levels like Speed Highway. Alright, that was a legitimate death. That's one I've had happen a number of times. Got it. Alright, this time I'll just let the thing fall off. I was trying to be, like, fancy there. But, like, I don't know why Sonic goes woohoo there. That really was not, like, a thrill ride. That was a ladder falling out from under you. And he's like, woohoo! I almost died! I guess we just have different ideas of what woohoo means. Now we go to part 2 of the level. Which actually, this part is gonna be a little annoying, but also strangely fun trying to destroy like all the cannons and stuff.
Hang on to something.
There's all these cannons on the main hub of the ship, and again, this is what I mean about like Sonic can clearly like clear all this stuff, but he couldn't get up that one little ramp like that. Story-wise, doesn't make any sense. And yes, there are a lot of bonuses that can be found under some of these cannons. Extra lives, rings, something like that. Not all of them, which is why I was always curious as a kid to see like how many I could destroy and just see what's underneath. And all the cannons function differently too. Like the little ones spray the bullets at you, the bigger ones shoot the big lasers. Those little things do that. Oh, that was a 40 ring box there. Hey, yo! And then you have the wind just to make it a little more difficult. Ouch. Now I'm just doing this for fun. As a kid, I would want to get out of this part as fast as possible. Now I'm like, just mess around a little bit. Why not? I'm actually surprised that one didn't have a bonus in it. Ouch. Alright. Hey, an extra life that I almost lost a second later if I got shot by that. Whoa! Oh, that's kind of cool. I actually don't think I've ever done that. That was kind of a little glitch of sorts. This part here always annoyed me. Until I realized all you have to do is just spin dash really fast. You can actually destroy those ships fast enough. Go to the 20th disconnection of the stream. Alright, this part isn't hard. It's kind of like about getting the right timing down. We'll see how that goes right now. Like, I could go over there and try to hit that cannon. All I'm trying to do is shoot it with a missile. Oh, shoot, I went too early. Oh, really, Tails? Tails, don't think about it. Yeah, I really should have just gone over there, but I'll wait. Got it. Which for some reason now it just opens up this other part. It's a very clunky transition, but whatever. I guess I can be honest now that I'm older and kind of realize some of these things were not designed as well as I initially thought. Ouch. This part here is just bananas. I'm like, this is just like a speed dash to a speed dash to a speed dash to a speed dash. I was like, what the hell did I just watch? Hold on, right now. I really wanted to get that. Got it. This part here can also be kind of wonky with the gravity changes. But again, this was like really the first quote-unquote challenging level in this game. I mean, there were a couple other ones, but especially if you don't know what you're doing here, this part can get very annoying. Okay, that was just extremely lucky. Hold on. Controls don't do any favors here. We're almost to the end of this level, though. That happened. Again, the gravity is super weird here. It's like trying to push you in all these different directions. If you want to or not. AO. Whoa. Alright, here we go. Hey, yo! And there just happens to be an animal capsule here, which I find amusing for whatever reason. Robotnik put his animal capsule in the middle of the friggin' sky deck. That was nice of him.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Not great. Not bad. More, right now. There we go. And then, just like that, I always thought something more epic was going to happen here. You're just like, is that it? What do you mean, is that it? It was like a 6-minute level. Then you're just on the deck of the egg carrier. You can technically just go right for the, like, end here. Not the end, but not a lot really happens here. So you just kind of take this elevator up and you're ready to go. Like, it's a big area. You can explore it if you want, but don't. I guess, again, I'm not trying to speedrun this, but I'm also not trying to just, like, dilly-dally. I want to be able to see everything here in a semi-reasonable amount of time here on this lovely Christmas Eve. Now, of course, we have to confront the good doctor himself. But first, we have to do another forced character fight with terrible physics and basically no point. More, right now.
You're too late.
I do enjoy Robotnik. He really did just kill that bird, or at least he would have if this was real life, because he just put it in a claw, but whatever. Most janky-looking crane claw ever. A Chaos Emerald? No way!
Be gone, all of you.
This is all I really need.
Gamma.
And his secret weapon is E-102 Gamma, who, I mean, I do enjoy. I just realized it says Master Robotnik, like it's spelled wrong. I thought maybe he says it that way, but he doesn't. He says Master Robotnik. The spelling says Master Robotnik. There's an extra O in there. Yeah, whatever. You can't win them all.
Get rid of these pests. Show them what you've got.
Alright.
Aye, aye, sir.
What's really funny is you play this fight as Gamma 2, and it has a different outcome. Which, actually, you could say about a lot of parts of the story, like, when there's multiple characters on screen, you play the same part of the story, but there's different outcomes. It's like, there can't be different outcomes. It either ends one way or it doesn't. Anyway, let's fight this robot. There's a hit. There's a hit. You know, there's not even a health bar. It's just 3, 2, 1. That's your health bar. And he's dead. But not really dead. But, like, that's my point. Like, I do enjoy Mr. Roboto. Yeah, he's not dead, but then if you play this mission as Gamma, you beat Sonic, so then Sonic's the one who's, like, kind of, like, on his toes, but whatever. Either way, this same part happens here that's about to happen.
Stop it, Sonic!
Where I just noticed Amy comes from, like, a completely weird angle there. And just stands in Sonic's way.
Step aside, Amy! Out of my way!
Love the mouth movements, by the way. Very realistic.
This robot is my friend! He helped
He really did. And yet you waited until now to step in there. Like, they fought each other for a little while, and that was okay.
Okay.
Okay, whatever you say. I don't fucking know.
You must have your reasons.
Yeah, you're insane. The ship is losing altitude.
Hurry, the ship is losing altitude!
Thank you, Tails. That was beautiful.
Hurry, Tails! Take Amy and get out of here!
But what about you?
What about you?
I'll find that Eggman and put him out of commission.
Yeah, show him. And he almost kind of does. We'll find out momentarily. So this part here... Oh, now I can play... I just realized I'm unlocking characters as I do this. I still have to change the ship back to normal for some stupid reason.
If I'm to continue,
Yes, that's what I said. I have to change the ship back to its
this
regular
ship
shape.
Back to its original shape.
So again, for reasons I don't
There must
get.
be a switch somewhere on the bridge.
Pretty sure the switch is very close to where I am right now. But we'll find out. Might not be, actually. This is a part of the game I don't play that often, so I don't really remember it that well. I remember the last 2 levels, but... Yeah, here we go. Robotnik just happens to have a lightspeed dash button on his ship, which kind of amuses me. Yeah, I got 44 rings. Ooh. Ooh. Hold on here. Ooh. No, it's not ooh. Dash shift. See, I know how to say the kind of same meaning, but I don't know if I know altitude. Dash shift. I know how to say, like, dash shift Feldnach, like the ship is still falling, but I can be like, dash shift. Do I know altitude? That's the first thing, or altitude. Dash shift. I know how to say dash shift. Dash shift Velora altitude? I don't know altitude. I'm like, Himmelkites? Alright. I have to sit in this stupid looking 3D blaster chair. How long are you waiting for that line to come up? Always wanted to hear Bobby say the ship is losing altitude in German. Der Schiff fällt vom Himmel. Ship is falling from the sky. I can say things that mean the equivalent, but I don't know how to say losing altitude. Oh, it's Das Schiff? I was wrong the whole freaking time. I thought it was Das Schiff. Alright, Das Schiff verliert. That's the word I was looking for. Verliert an Hoa. I never would have gotten that last part. Okay, so I messed up on the article and I messed up on the verb a little bit, but on Hoa I never would have gotten. I know, like, that means height, kind of, but... That's good to know, though. For some reason, I thought that was going to be one of those, like, scientific words, you know, like altitude, that usually has, like, a fairly close German equivalent, like chemistry or biology. Not that it's in the same vein, or even physics themselves, which is physique. Das Schiff fang an zu fallen. But anyway, first we gotta deal with Chaos 6. Chaos...
Oh, no.
Chaos 6.
Not again!
Which I never understood this form. It goes from being like a kind of hulking thing to like a shark thing to this just blah. And then its next form is a giant dragon. Chaos 6 never made sense to me as far in terms of like a form.
I must say Froggy.
Oh my god, who cares about Froggy? We're all about
If
to
he's
die.
your friend, I'll help you.
Alright. Our one interaction with Big the Cat, basically meaningless.
Now I have 6 of the Chaos Emeralds. There's only one more left to find.
I'm trying to think of where the one more is, because I know he does get it. Oh, it really is on... Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
I will.
The last Chaos Emerald is literally on the ship. It's on Tails' plane. So he could have had all 7 right now, but he's just too dumb to realize that the 7th one, literally Sonic and Tails brought it to him because it's the power source of the tornado. That's hilarious. And that's actually how the Supersonic story starts, is with Chaos getting that last Emerald. I will say, though, I do like the music, and I don't hate this fight. I prefer Knuckles' version. It's a little more difficult, and it has more going on, but I don't like the... In this one, you have to, like, make Robotnik drop those robots. Oh, that was a bad timing on my part. Here we go. Hey, what's going on, Scarecrow? Hopefully you're having a very Merry Christmas, or a very scary Christmas, Scarecrow. Whoa, okay. Kind of just got lucky there. Playing some Sonic Adventure here, the last episode of the season for Games Christmas Past, and what a way to finish it here with my favorite Christmas game of all time. I almost always find a way to get this game in here, and I wanted to this year do something special and play the entire Sonic campaign. So that's exactly what I'm doing now. I can't believe this! Technically, if I wanted to, I could shorten this fight by doing the light speed attack, but I don't. I'll fight it. It's only a 4-hit fight. Which I always found funny. He takes less hits than Chaos 4. He's a little harder, but he takes less hits. And I already have the way to get him the last time. And now he's dead.
I can't believe this.
I do like that there's the extra twist so you get to freeze him before you hit him. So, I mean, that makes it a little more challenging. Like I said, it's one of the harder fights in the game, but it's not the hardest fight. That'll be the final boss of Sonic's story. But yes, welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We got a little more Sonic Adventure to come. Scarecrow, B may or may not still be here as well. We'll see momentarily.
No way. I can't believe
I wonder how much you got paid to say that line 5 times. No way! I can't believe this! Sonic! Hey there, Knuckles!
You finally made it.
I thought you got lost or something. Actually, I'm trying to remember how he gets... Oh, okay, yeah, Knuckles gets on the egg carrier by sneaking up on his space before it comes off. But they all have their own way of getting on board, which I think is interesting. Like, the story does a pretty decent job of connecting these 6 storylines together. But I still think Sonic is the best. Sonic's story is the best. Like, it connects everything. You see everything. You don't really get it, but you get the best experience. Because for most of the characters, the story ends here. You know, Robotnik's defeated. Chaos 6 is defeated. It's like, okay, it's over. But for Sonic, he still has 2 more levels. Buffalo Wild Wings. Oh, damn it. No, I guess that gift card's not going to get used.
Eggman.
Although I can't tell if you're just saying that or that really happened, because you've also said FYE closed like 5 times, so... I feel like I could just look this up myself, but I don't really feel like it, because I'm playing Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure was a simpler time, when I didn't have to worry about what stores were closing at the mall, because, quite frankly, none of them were. In 1999, the Crystal Mall was like the place to be in this area. I mean, if anything, they were adding stores. You know, if a store closed, they would just put like 2 more in its place. Like, it was great. Now it's like I have to actually... Yeah, I believe that. I believe it was dead, which sucks. 2 days before Christmas, you can be super busy. In fact, I'm not even sure where you went shopping there, because there's only like 3 stores I can even think of. Well, I mean, if Buffalo Wild Wings really is closed, that's going to make using this gift card a little more difficult, because I got this gift card for my party to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I was thinking about going there at some point in the next week or so, but I guess I'd have to go to a further one. If it is, in fact, closed, which I'm not saying you're wrong, it just would seem unlikely, but maybe it is. We'll find out momentarily. But right now, it's time for Lost World, and this is before Sonic Lost World the game. This is just Lost World the level. This is a tough level. And a long one. And this is where you find out the truth about Chaos. Sort of. As much as this game gets into ancient lore, which is not a whole lot. Even in the game, it's never really explained how Robotnik finds these tablets, but you do get a glimpse at what Chaos was supposed to be. Sort of like this prophecy, sort of whatever thing. This part here, I'm going to be honest with you, I honestly feel like I get lucky if I don't get hit here. I actually made it through all that without getting hit. That was pure luck. Woo! What could you say to make a mall? What would you say could make? Well, for one thing, having stores in it, like not just your average stores, but unique stores that you don't get everywhere. I will admit, yeah, it is tougher to make a mall attractive in the post online era, especially after COVID, and everybody realized, hey, we can buy all this stuff just staying at home. Like, why are we gonna keep going out to buy it? There have been times even I've thought that. I'm like, well, I could buy this Christmas gift online, or I could go out and get it, but it's like either way, it's gonna be the same thing. Ooh, okay, this part I actually have to kind of remember what to do. Shit, not that! I'm gonna say, even though technically there's a floor there, you just die. I never got that. You just die. You can't get back up. Which I guess I really wouldn't want to. It would probably take me longer to get back up than just respawn. But as far as what can make a mall more attractive, I mean, I as a mall connoisseur, and I do enjoy malls in general, like, putting stores in there, obviously, is one. But what kind of stores? You need,
Switch to raise the water level.
something that's going to attract people. Electronic stores, jewelry stores, different kinds of stores. But even beyond that, beyond your staples, because that's a complicated question, too, because it depends on the demographic of people that live in the area. But at the same time, one thing that would naturally make a mall more attractive is where it's located. And in this case, it's located in an area that doesn't have a lot to do, which should give it a big advantage regardless, because it's not like it's in New York City or, somewhere where there's other options. It's in a place where there's maybe 2 or 3 other places to go if you don't go to the mall. So if they loaded it up with stores, even if they're not the best stores, loaded up with some stores, people will show up, because I've seen it. I grew up here, and even more recently, when they had more stores, more people showed up. The less stores they have, the less people are going to show up. I know that's a simplistic thing, but now, besides that, maybe you do stuff like an arcade or different things to do. To me, malls can thrive on their variety. Not necessarily 1 or 2 things, but the combination of what you can do there. Wow, that was a bad jump. The fact that you can do, you can get food, you can get, items, you can play games, you can do that all in one building rather than having to drive to separate buildings. I think there's some value in that. Not monetary value so much as time value, but I think there is a legitimate value to that. And malls that can do that, and again, there's other things you can do. I'm just doing the bare basics here by telling you that. You could have a skating rink, you could have a movie theater. I mean, you could do a lot, but it depends, obviously, on money. And like I said, this particular mall, I don't think would need to do that much. I'm not trying to be, like, arrogant, but I don't think this particular mall would need to do that much. Only because, like I said, it's in an area where there's not much going on. So it's not like it's competing with, like, Las Vegas. It's competing with nothing. So the fact that it still can't do much, it's kind of sad. And I don't blame anyone except for the supposed owners of this mall, who, if I didn't know any better, want the damn thing to fail. Be worth going to. That is true. But like I said, that's where the convenience factor comes in. That's where, yeah, I can go online and order it and get it in, 2 or 3 days or whatever. But, there's also stuff at stores you don't always see online. Like, I found plenty of gifts that I wouldn't think to look for online. Like, if you know what you're looking for online, you go to Amazon, you can type in a search, like a literal search. Sure, but you might not know what you're looking for. You might see something in a store you weren't thinking about buying, but you see it, and that jogs your memory because you're seeing a physical item in front of you, and not like Amazon recommends, you know what I mean? Like, nothing against Amazon. I mean, I've gotten a lot of my Christmas gifts there, but there are some times, whether it's at a mall or another store, where I just say, hey, there's a shirt with, like, I don't know, Shrek on it. Like, I'm not going to go on Amazon, type in Shrek shirt, but I saw it, and it made me want to buy it. It's an impulse thing. But again, I mean, I see both sides of it. I also forgot where the last freaking button is here. I think I did this in the wrong order. Was I supposed to hit that? I already hit this button. Fuck. I'm lost in Lost World. What a not surprising twist. If one of the buttons is underwater, can I still hit it, or do I have to actually lower the water again? I hope not. I think I know where it is, but I think I have to go under the water to get it. Like, I think it's literally right here. Nope. Alright, then it must be the other one. Whoa! Oh, you get a lot of height when you jump. Holy, okay. Got that one already. Oh, shit. It's like the lowest one then, isn't it? I'm doing pretty well, though. I'm noticing comments, like, a little late. They're not coming in late. I'm just noticing it late. Like, I'll read a comment, and then, like, below it, there'll be another. The camera angle does not help you here. Like, is it way the hell over there? No. No, wait. I'm gonna end up down here. It's not here. I know it's not here, but there was another thing that was, like, under the water. Actually, I don't know if I remember this area. Can't see. There it is. That was almost luck. Not completely luck, but... Okay, so that answers the question. You can hit the button even if it's underwater, which I was hoping. So now I just gotta ride the snake back to where I started. What the fuck is are you serious? I had a feeling that was gonna happen. Like, I was gonna do the whole thing and then die on the snake part. Like, literally, all I had to do was stand there, and I did stand there, and I fell off the damn thing. I failed at standing. Now I know how Shads and Zero feel. Yeah, I said it. Ah, oh, that was just pathetic. No! I have wheelchair jokes, I just don't use them. Oh, I just realized my time reset. Alright, I was at like 6.5 minutes. I'm like, this is gonna be a long time. It still is, because we're still spending time on it, but... Alright, this time let me try to get them in order. I mean, to me it was an easy joke to make. The camera angle, though, is so bad here. Because you, like, have to wait until this thing lines up with the thing you want. Now, it doesn't go from left to right like you think. I think the red one is the last one you have to hit. You raise the water here. There should be, like, a green one. I didn't realize you get, like, a higher jump when you're underwater, though. That's kind of cool. Is that the next one there? I can't see! Can't tell, because one's green and one's, like, bluish green. They look almost exactly the same. I want to try it. Okay, that was it. That looks almost the same color as the other one. The only one that stands out is the red one. The blue one's the easiest one. The red one's actually also pretty easy because it's just on top. And I can see it from there. I don't know if I can make that jump. I should be able to. Fuck! I could have if it didn't home in on the freaking negative box. God damn, I've not had this much trouble in a level for a long time. I'm actually glad I'm making more mistakes now, because if I had, like, a perfect run and the only thing that stopped me was that dumb mistake at Skydeck, I would have been kind of pissed. Like, I didn't die except for that one death. At least now I've died, like, 4 times. I'm still at 24 lives, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Problem is, some of these jumps I'm making basically blind. Like, I think I know where I'm going to land. Obviously, I got a little greedy there in that last one. Oh, I can just jump across that. I feel like you normally could. But the game just wants you to do it this slow way, so you have to do it one at a time like that. You can't just jump from one platform to the next, even though it's, you know, a platformer. Hit it? This is the second to last level, though. We're getting there. Okay. Oh, God. It's coming. I know it's coming up, because I just saw it. There it is. But the camera kind of swung me away from it in such a way that it's like, oh, jeez. It's like, oh, jeez. Holy smokes. Okay. Bring the water up here. Alright, even though that looks like it's makeable, actually, well, no, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to take the safest route possible. I was going to try and run across the snake and get it. Then again, you actually have to move with the snake a little bit. Like, I can't explain it. With the analog stick, you have to move, like, the analog stick a little bit. You can't just stand there, even though it looks like you should be able to. Shit. I messed up. Okay, we're good. Every time I see those spotlights, I'm like, oh, that's where I have to jump. But no, not always. The spotlight is from, like, the one on the way bottom. Yeah, I'm taking the most conservative route I can here, because I've spent probably, like, 10-15 minutes on this one part now. Should be a checkpoint after each button, but what do I know? Here we go, here we go. People only complain about checkpoints when they suck at the game, so oops. Why aren't there more checkpoints? Because I'm not very good at this. There we go. There should be a checkpoint now. Because now you get to the second part, which is cool, but it lasts maybe like a minute. Like, I don't really understand the point of this. There's some parts of Frontiers that kind of remind me of this environment. Okay, we're going in the building now, or in the temple. This level is kind of awesome, I'm not gonna lie. This is like the Temple of Chaos, basically. I don't know why we ended up here, and why From a narrative point of view, it doesn't make any sense, because we should have just chased Robotnik, but instead we're like, let's go in here for some reason. Shit. I'm gonna say I did used to die here a lot. Because you're basically, like, not that far off of some water that's, like, instant kill. As in, if you touch the water, you die, even though it looks very shallow. Like, you're basically on these little stones just above the water. You should not die from falling off a foot-high stone, but you can. And you likely will, especially with how dark this level is. I used to try to do this without using the lights to help me, but I'm not that daring right now. My old age has made me more, what's the word, conservative in that regard. Because it is possible to clear this without turning the lights on. You can see well enough. Kind of like that Crash Bandicoot level with the Jaws of Darkness or whatever. Ooh. My favorite stage in this game, or like ever? My favorite stage in this game is Speed Highway. Then probably Red Mountain. I know everyone loves Emerald Coast, and I do like Emerald Coast for the nostalgia, but I actually really like Final Egg, which is the last level. This level, to me, I don't hate it, but it's probably like the more annoying level. I understand it's supposed to be harder because it's a later level, but it's not hard in the satisfying way. Like, the last level's difficulty to me is just right. This difficulty just kind of feels cheap at times. It's still a really cool level, and I like the music, but not my favorite Sonic Adventure. I also love Twinkle Park. I mean, I love a lot of the levels in this game. Casinopolis, Ice Cap. Really a legendary collection of levels in a Sonic game. That follows most of the tropes you'd expect in a Sonic game, and that's why I think this is like the perfect introduction to 3D Sonic. And, you know, I appreciate that SA2 they tried something new with the space levels and more pyramid-based stuff, but I still think you get a better variety in this game. Like, this game introduces you to so many things. Windy Valley's awesome. There are very few levels I don't like in this game. The only reason I wouldn't like a level is because I have to play as Knuckles and hunt for emeralds, or I have to play as Big and hunt for the stupid frog. But even then, I like playing as Knuckles. I just don't like sometimes when the emeralds are in weird places. This level, again, I think just goes on a little too long, but I do like it. I like the different phases of it, and I also understand it's one of the last levels, so they wanted to make it longer than like 2 minutes long. But Speed Highway's a thrill. Yeah, see, actually, I don't mind these. Honestly, that whole snake part was my least favorite part. But, I mean, I'll take Final Egg over this, which we will see Final Egg in just a bit. The only part of Final Egg I don't like has nothing to do with the level, but it's the puzzle you have to do to get into the level, which is actually one of the harder puzzles in the game, in a game that really doesn't do puzzles. Tries to. I mean, I love that foreboding music and all that. I had to get one of my lives back. I think we're almost there. Technically, if I hadn't died in that one run where it took forever to get all the switches, my time would have been like over 10 minutes. But my time reset when I had to respawn, so I might be able to finish this level in, I don't know, 7 minutes. Maybe. I have to try to be careful, because, yes, these parts can kind of suck. Yeah. Oh, Skydeck. Yeah, we just did that one. I love that level. I used to not like that level at all because it would take a lot of my lives, but I like it now. Wait, hit the button, damn it. There we go. This level just ends randomly. Like, that's it. That's the end of the level because you get to the stone tablets or the stone whatever it is, the mural, and that's it. The level just ends. There's no, like, here's the goal. It's same thing with Final Egg, though.
Yeah, not bad.
I think it's a decent level. I can be a little forgiving of it. If there were more levels like it, I wouldn't like it, but in the scope of this game, it works. Oh, here comes a flashback. I think this is the only flashback you get in Sonic's story. Knuckles' story focuses a lot more on what the flashbacks mean. Even Tails gets a few. Everybody gets a few. My favorite is Big the Cat.
Wow, what's this?
And don't get me wrong, Big the Cat's not my favorite character.
A mural.
Oh, first I want to see this. This part's pretty cool. The mural of perfect chaos. I love that. It's your typical, like, Greek, you know, mythology stone tablet. I'm not doing all the stories, no. Have I done them? Yes, I'm not doing all. It'd take me, like, probably 7 or 8 hours at this rate. No. I've done them all separately, and I also I have a Let's Play on YouTube where I do them all. Like, there's like 30 something, I think it's like 35 episodes, and each one's like maybe a half hour or something. Maybe no, that can't be right. That would be like an 18-hour game. I don't know, but I have done it. It's on YouTube. There's a whole playthrough of the game, but...
Where am I?
Yeah, this is the longest story in the game, which it's not super long, but... Gamma, I love Gamma, I do. I mean, he is fun, but I like him actually for the story. I think Knuckles is actually pretty fun, too. Wait, was I not supposed to go up here? I thought I was supposed to come up here and talk to Tikal. This is the old Master Emerald, by the way. Oh, hold on. Oh, I was off by that much. It's Blue Eyes? Oh, Blue Eye, I get it. I'm like, wait, Blue Eyes is perfect chaos. I mean, some of the Chow have blue eyes. There's Tikal. Again, I only know all this because I played the game so many times. First few times I played this, I'm like, what is happening right now?
Why did this happen?
Why did this have to happen? I'm like, what is she talking about? What have to happen? Tikal, as far as I know, is only in this game, except for a couple references and like Sonic
I
Shuffle or
must
something.
stop this now.
I don't really count that as canon. Yo. I want to say you actually hear Perfect Chaos here. Okay, no you don't. There's one part where, like, you hear, like, Rah! That might be Knuckles. Yeah, Big the Cat, I have no idea why he's here. Because even in his flashbacks, I think he gets one flashback where he sees, like, the Master Emerald altar before it's destroyed, and he just stands there and looks at it, and then it fades away. I'm like, what was the point of that?
I don't
Like,
think
Big the
I'm
Cat's too
dreaming
dumb
here.
to understand this. Why did you send him here? Like, I get it's for the player, but even nothing happens for the player to watch. It's like just a random scene.
Eggman!
And then Robotnik's still flying over this one area. It's been however long since the sky
What's he
deck
doing
blew up
here?
or whatever.
Oh, never mind. This time I'll get him good.
I do love that Sonic's story just becomes about stopping Robotnik. It's like the story's basically over, but now he's like, screw it. I didn't kick his ass enough. Let me get him. I always love that. It's like, wait, what's my goal now? My goal was to stop Chaos. Well, I already did that, so let's just fight Robotnik now. And that works for me. That's why I love me some Robotnik. Now, if I could just remember which one of these paths takes me out of here. From these cardboard trees. Here we go. Funny thing is, this is Robotnik's base. So this has been here this whole time, but we just now go here. Like, why don't we just go here at the beginning of the game? It's not like it's hard to miss. Anyway, let's see if we can find those Easter eggs. See, I always thought that was Silver Sonic. It might be, but that almost reminds me of a robot from Sonic Comics. Yeah. Oh, at SA2, definitely. That's where Gamma was worked on. That's Metal Sonic right there. I love that. Such a great-looking Metal Sonic. I'm so mad we did not get him, like, in the game. Other than, he's unlockable in the GameCube version, but... I mean... You should. I mean, I'm not saying you have to go super early, but definitely before, like, the 23rd. I mean, I've gotten, like, one or two things on the last couple days, but generally I'm all set by now, and I am this year. I always suck at this puzzle. I don't understand the logic of this. I still don't. Okay. I've actually spent a long time on this puzzle before. Sometimes I get it, like, on my first try. And other times, it just takes a while. There we go. Got it. But again, I couldn't tell you how I got it. But it doesn't matter, because we are going to Final Egg, baby. Been a long time coming. No idea why I keep hearing that USB noise, but I don't care anymore. I really don't. More, right now. Also, I love this music, although I love the Part 2 music better. Yeah, it's got one of my favorite scenes in the Sonic series, which is a very simple scene, but ouch, a very enjoyable one nonetheless. These enemies are actually some of the few that are formidable if you let them. Egg Seekers, I believe they're called. Nah, I love Christmas shopping. I really do. It's like a mission, you know? I go shopping all the time anyway, like for myself, but like I know what I want. Like, I like kind of thinking, like, alright, if I'm this person, what would, like, appeal to me here? And if I can't find anything, that's when I might resort to online and kind of look up some creative keywords, but I am playing this on the Dreamcast, and yes, it is my actual Dreamcast. This whole thing I try to keep as nostalgic as possible, with the exception that this is not the original disc, because the original disc, which I showed off at the beginning of the stream, is so scratched up it'll never play. But this is another copy of SR2 on said Dream. Well, not my actually. This isn't my actual Dreamcast either. This is like probably the third Dreamcast I bought. But that Dreamcast would have been 25 years old if it was still around today. I do love this part. Get him. Can't see. I can see. Yeah, this is not the GameCube version. This is not like a PC port. This is the original Dreamcast release. Ooh, an extra life. Ooh, another extra life. I do enjoy this level. Sega Dreamcast, hands down. I mean, I do love the Genesis, but... And most people would say the Genesis is the best one, but... Dreamcast, for me, just was so remarkable for what it did in such a short time. Way ahead of its time. I actually thought it was funny. I had my friends over for my party, and one of them, who's not like a big gaming, like, knowledge person, saw the Dreamcast, and like, he's like, you know, these graphics are pretty good. Like, what year was this console? I'm like, 1999. And he's like, oh, these are really good graphics for 25 years ago. I'm like, yeah, no kidding. Like, Sega was always ahead of their time, but like, especially with Dreamcast, I mean, they came out like a full few years before GameCube, and they were pretty much there. Had online gaming, you know, a lot of stuff. The VMU, which is the unique memory card that slips into the controller. I mean, this is peak Sega to me. And the games were awesome. It's not like the games were terrible. Like, the games were all really great. Whether they were Sega or third party, although third party was mostly Capcom. I feel like Capcom and Sega had some kind of deal because there are some great Capcom fighting games and Resident Evil games on this console. There's gotta be. Yeah, it's not Saturn. I'm sorry, but it's not Saturn. I think I want to try and work out how that... Oh, what's up, True Dreamcast? That's an awesome name, by the way. I have no idea how that puzzle works, to be perfectly honest with you. Despite the fact that I just beat it, and I beat it many times, and every time I beat it, I feel like it's on accident. Sometimes I beat it right away, and sometimes it takes me 20 tries. Yes, that door puzzle is probably one of the few frustrating moments in the game that's not like in a level. Have I played? That is a valid question. I don't know. I played the majority of the like mainline ones. I played a little... What was that game? Sonic and the Black Knight, and not enough to really say I'm obviously I haven't beat, man. Same with Secret Rings. A lot of the spin-off ones I either don't touch. What's the other one? Sonic Free Riders, where it's just a Kinect. I don't have that, nor do I really want it. I did get the sequel to Sonic Free Riders, which is okay. The best Sonic Riders to me was the original Sonic Riders. Have I played every Sonic game? Maybe at one point or another I might have played them all a little bit, but you know, the ones I really like are the ones that I keep going back to, like this one. I played the main ones enough to say, you know, yes, you know, Sonic Colors, Generations, Lost World, even Boom, Rise of Lyric. I haven't played a lot of it, but maybe a few hours I owned it. Sonic 06, Shadow, even Tails Sky Patrol and the Tails spin-off games. Michael Dan, apparently. I was gonna see him today, Michael Dan. I didn't not want to see him, but it got to be a point where it was like 4 or 5 o'clock, and it was like, I just want to like start my stream. I think I started like 4:30. It's like, I don't want to like wait for him to show up, and then I gotta like, you know, make time. Like, this is like my, no, every day in Christmas season is my busy season. Place. Yes, actually, I did. I didn't know like the exact place, but I know they did their research to like kind of like set this like up to be this big like, you know, thing, whatever. Sonic 2 Snowfall, you told me about that. Anything PC related though, I can't guarantee the quality of the stream. Like, I could probably play it on my own time, but I don't know how streaming it would go. I don't know why I get like, I don't get mad, but like, this has happened before, like people miss my parties and they try to do like a makeup, and then I'm kind of like, great, now I gotta like make more time to see this person that I don't mind seeing them, but it's like, now I'm like kind of done, you know? Like, I did the Christmas party, I just want to relax and have Christmas, and now I gotta have like 2 or 3 people over that missed the party because they couldn't remember what day it was, and I gotta like, just like entertain them now. It's like, what do I do? I can't just let them in the house and like, you know, be like, alright, bye, like, I gotta like do something, you know? It's like, great. It'd be like if I missed your party, Toaster, and then like the next day I'm like, oh, I'll come over anyway. It's like, oh, what are we gonna do though? Makes it a little different because I go over your house more. I don't really have people over my house that much. when I do, it's like a big group, you know, and it's fun. You know, once in a while I'll have people over my house, but generally that's it. You know, if you miss the party, you miss the party. I don't see Randy come over here. Randy, I'd make an exception for. Randy, I'd be like, yeah, you missed the party? Come on over. To call in... Oh, really? That I did not know. I knew it was somewhere in Guatemala. I didn't know it was actually named after the character. That's cool. Oh, I just realized we're getting to my favorite part of the game.
Yeah, not bad.
That level... Oh, no, that level was a little bit longer than the final level, but anyway. Alright, here we go. Sonic versus Robotnik for all the marbles. Let's go. I feel like the second half of this game is a lot shorter than the first half. Like, we're already, like, at the end of this game. Love this scene so much. I love that they have to show this jump, like, 3 times. There he is! The only time you see this thing in the entire game, the Egg Viper.
Well, if it isn't my pal Sonic, I'm surprised you made it this far.
This boss fight can be a little annoying, though. Only one who liked Black Knight. I didn't like it. Like, again, like, it was... Yeah, Black Knight has awesome cutscenes and music. It's not a fun game, though. Like, I wanted to like it more than I did. Dreamcast versions, honestly, aren't that much different than the adventure games, like the ones that are on other consoles, but I don't know, I just prefer it. I don't know why. The lighting's a little better, in my opinion. It's not, like... The GameCube version has a very shiny look to it. Anyway. Egg Viper time, here we go. This fight was always peak for me.
Get a load of this.
And of course we got Get a Load of This.
Get a load of this. See if you can make it.
I love how he taunts you too. He's like, see if you can make it from here, Sonic. It's like, well, obviously I can. Why would you even taunt? Like, he could just stay in that machine and I could never hit him, but he opens the cockpit. It's like, hey, you know that thing that you do in every game where you hit me in the face? Come do that now. Yeah, this part's kind of cool. Oh, I forgot about that for a second. Spirit Bomb. Oh, wow, oh, this thing? I actually almost never see this thing because I just hit him first. But I know what you're talking about.
Get a load of this. Get a load of this.
I actually think this fight is harder than the Perfect Chaos fight. In fact, this fight takes 7 hits, Perfect Chaos only takes 6. So I find that kind of funny. Is it?
See if you can make it through.
Kind of. I do vaguely remember that boss. Oh shit, I just realized she's charging it. I actually, like, completely fell asleep at the wheel there. I almost got hit by it. Those are the easy ones! Sonic Heroes reference. I always hate those fights. Where he just keeps sending robots after you. I wish there were more Robotnik boss fights in 3D, because most of them are really good. But you only fight them maybe like once or twice a game. Most of them are just kind of like this one's really cool, but a lot of them are like more just chasing him and trying to hit him. Yeah, I'm not making that mistake again. I mean, I love this fight. Plus the music, the freaking orchestral, just like menacing music and everything. Shit. Alright, is he gonna do the blades now? Yep.
It's no use. No way. I can't believe it.
No way, I can't believe this. The guy that jumps on everything I make was able to jump on that.
Full power.
So the platforms start coming out. I will admit, the timing on these is a little weird. They start kind of slow and then they zoom up on you. But I mean, now I'm used to it. But as a kid, I would always, like, be too quick to jump on it. Shit. Alright, here we go.
He's not gonna get away with it.
Go.
It's no use. Give up.
Got him.
No way.
Maybe.
Believe this.
This last part is not a guarantee. What word was I trying to say? Not a guarantee.
Watch out. He's up to something.
Because his timing on this is actually pretty smart. Except for that time. That was actually stupid easy. He usually overshoots you on purpose so that you fall in with him. But that time he did not. He literally just hit the tile before me. I didn't have to do anything. Thank you, Robotnik. Thank you for that easy win. And that, my friends, is Sonic Adventure. At least the most important part. I know it's not the whole game, but... that was awesome. So I actually did end up beating that in around 2.5 hours, because I also took a little bit before I started playing it. But it's funny, because about an hour and a half in, I was only like 5 levels into the game, so I thought it was going to be like a really, like, longer game. The last 2 levels, while they're long, they don't take long to get to, so... somehow Robotnik's still alive after that, by the way. Like, that was like a minefield of explosions, and like, he's just like, yep, my ship just has a little smoke coming out of it, but I'm fine. Yeah, that was awesome. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. It is a Christmas miracle, because I've died to that so many times, even now, with the Egg Viper kamikaze sequence. Like, I'm usually good at dodging it, or maybe even just missing it, but like, that time I didn't have to do anything. I literally just walked over a tile. I did the homing attack to be safe, but I was well out of the way. The Dreamcast stream? I've got a, like, HDMI adapter. Also, what is Sonic saying there? I've got, like, a AV to HDMI adapter, so basically my Dreamcast plugs into the TV like any other modern console would. So I just run the HDMI to the Elgato, and whoopity boopity bop, I don't know how else to say that. 480p resolution, yeah, it doesn't look amazing, but it works. Same way I connect my PS2 and other older consoles to streams, which I don't do super often, but I do on occasion. But that was Sonic Adventure, my friends. Now, I'm not doing all stories. I don't know, you might not have been here earlier. I'm not doing all stories. That was a 2.5 hour stream, and basically when I think of Sonic Adventure, I think about Sonic's story, because that is the one that captivated me as a kid. That's the one I spent the most time on. I like the other stories, I do, and I like the finale with Super Sonic, but, well, let me rephrase that. I like all the stories except for Big the Cat. But for tonight, I wanted to do a really cool stream, a really chill stream, decently long stream. We're at 2.5 hours now, and we got plenty more streaming to come tomorrow because it is Christmas Eve tomorrow. So we are going to have a lot. I'll talk about that a little bit, but I like how I just keep waving this disc around. Like, here it is. And the actual disc is still in here because I have another copy of my Dreamcast. This is my original 1999 copy. I'm showing this off like it's some rare thing, but it's pretty easy to find, actually. Sonic Adventure sold the most. Hey, here's Sonic. Sonic Adventure was the highest selling game on Dreamcast. I want to say it sold like 1.5 million copies. So therefore, it's actually super easy to find. YOLO, I'm Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. Man, when are you going to play another Sonic game? Dude, I just played a Sonic game. Oh, yeah. Oh, there I am. I'm up on the screen. Oh, look at me. I'm snowboarding. Yeah, that's Ice Cap Zone. I know what zone it is. All right. Well, you have any plans for Christmas? Oh, I don't know. Probably just going to chill out with Amy and Tails. What about Knuckles? Yeah, him and I aren't talking right now. Okay. Is that something you want to talk about? Nah, I'm good. All right, well, gotta go. Are you gonna go now? Okay, yeah, gotta go. All right. Whee! All right. That was Sonic, everybody. You might see him a time or two before Christmas. A long time, but, yeah, no. It's been a great year. Not over yet, obviously, but it's been a great year of gaming. Modern, retro in this case. Sonic Adventure, I wanted to get it in. I know I think I've gotten in almost every season of Games of Christmas Past since I started doing this, but I usually just do a few random levels. I wanted to do the game, you know, the main game, the main draw that brought me to it, which of course is Sonic's story, the main story. You know, from meeting Chaos Zero to, you know, fighting the Egg Viper. That is, to me, peak 3D Sonic. So all the people that want to say, and I'm not saying people on this stream, because people on this stream seem to be Sonic fans, but the main gaming journalist narrative, whatever it is, Sonic had a rough transition to 3D. Well, did you guys just watch that? That did not feel like a rough transition to 3D to me. I'm not saying there aren't things that couldn't have been improved, but that was a pretty nice transition to 3D, I'm sorry. For a series that was about, you know, a blue hedgehog running across valleys and hills and stuff, like, they really did a good job turning it into, like, a story-based game with different levels, great boss battles. Yeah, the voice acting was a little cheesy, but I mean, whatever. The music was great. We're hearing some of that music now. We're hearing Crush 40, it doesn't matter. One of my favorite Sonic theme songs. Might be my favorite Sonic theme song. Let me preface that. When I say Sonic theme song, I mean, like, for the character himself. Obviously, Open Your Heart and Live and Learn are better songs, but It Doesn't Matter is a great song that I think embodies what Sonic the Hedgehog as a character is. And even the other character themes, like Knuckles' rap and Amy's song, they put a lot of effort, and I know it doesn't seem like it now, but they put a lot of effort into, like, making each character unique, not just in what they do, but the music, the style of it. You just don't see that anymore. Like, yeah, you see Sonic's friends in the games, but they're just kind of there in the background. You might play as them for like a little bit. But like, they gave every story, or every character their own story, and yeah, they weren't all that long, but they still didn't have to do that. Like, this game is great because of all the things it offers. And even if you just take that main story, what was that, like 2.5 hours? Still longer than Sonic Forces, and that's the whole game. Sonic Forces is over in 2 hours. This game, you're just getting started, sort of. I mean, depends on how far you want to go, but I don't know. It's just, I said I wasn't going to go there. I went there a little bit in terms of like, Sega doesn't do this anymore, but you know what? It's not about what Sega does now. It's about what Sega did then. Making one of the best games I've ever played, Sonic Adventure, that awesome finale screen. Open Your Heart is the main theme of the game. Big deal to me, 25 years since this game came out in 99. And to me, that is as fitting a way as I can think to wrap up the games of Christmas past, which started with me playing, I don't even remember. I think I played something from like 2021 or something, kind of going through the eras, the more modern, the more recent. There's still been some games that have come out in the last few years that I think have given me, some really great Christmas memories, but you don't touch Sonic Adventure. Like, Sonic 2 is also in that same class, Sonic 2 on Genesis. It's just harder to stream that. Like, I'll do it, but it's harder to stream Sonic 2 on Genesis and, like, have the same meaning, because I can beat that in, like, a quarter of the time I just did this, if not less. It's still fun, but it's hard for me to explain why that game was so significant when I can beat it in, like, the time of, like, a cartoon show, like 20, 30, 40 minutes maybe. But anyway. In terms of what's to come, that's what we all want to know, right? We just saw a really fun stream. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. But tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Can't believe I'm saying that, but it is Christmas Eve, and this has been a Christmas that I have been very vocal about and thinking that it is one of the better Christmases I've had in a while. And we're going to start it, as you'd expect, with a stream tomorrow morning at some point, probably 10, 11 a.m. with a Christmas Eve stream, and that's going to be really fun. That's only part of the story, as you guys know, because after that stream, I'm going to go offline for a while, going to do my Christmas Eve stuff, and then at night, 11 p.m., maybe 11:30 p.m., actually it is going to be 11:30 p.m., we'll see. We are doing the Christmas countdown of 2024, where you get to see this guy act like a total maniac as we count down to the greatest holiday of the year, let's go, for Christmas 2024. So that's tomorrow. There's already going to be 2 streams tomorrow. The morning stream with gaming, the night stream with the countdown. And if that's not enough Chaos Blur for all of you, we got Christmas Day. And I can't give you the exact time. It's going to depend on how things go with my family and stuff like that, whatever. Christmas to me, I don't sweat it. But all you guys need to know is that there will be a stream on Christmas Day. There has been for the past few years. There will be for this year. That'll be sometime in the early afternoon. There might be 2. There might only be 1. Again, depends on how things go. But you will see me at least once on Christmas Day. Besides the countdown, you'll see me playing a game, chatting with everybody. I really like when people get involved in that. Just even if it's just for a few minutes to talk, because it's weird. I want people to watch my streams on Christmas Day, obviously, but I also want them to enjoy Christmas with their family. So I completely get it if you're not able to. I don't want you to alter your Christmas plans to watch me stream for the millionth time. Like, why? Don't know if I make it celebrate the 24th. Yeah, I mean, I'll be online tomorrow twice. Like I said. This song, that's the song you have on your... Yes, that is Open Your Heart. It's a great song, and I, of course, play the menu version, which is what that's called. It's the shortened version, so, it plays during the intro, so it's like only maybe 40 seconds long. Obviously, the full song is like 4 or 5 minutes long, and it plays during the final boss of this game against Perfect Chaos, and it also plays in the credits of the final part of the game. It's basically the live and learn of this game. So obviously, Sonic Adventure 2, live and learn is the main theme. In this game, Open Your Heart is the main theme, and I love that song. So much energy, so much fun, just like Christmas itself. So, I know I kind of threw a lot of you guys. All you need to know is, basically, we're looking at 3 potential 4 Chaos Blur streams in the next 2 days. Probably 3, maybe 4. Either way, it's going to be a lot of Chaos Blur. Most of it will be, well, it'll all be here, but the Christmas countdown will be a little bit different. We're not doing rewards or any of that, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be in Christmas Central, which you guys have seen before. From the Fireside Chat, I realize a lot of you probably can't make it because it's, Europe time zone. My time zone is going to be like 11:30 p.m. You guys are going to be like 6 a.m. And again, as much as I want people to watch it, I also don't want people to mess up their Christmas plans. I really don't. To me, it's important to me. It's more important to me that you guys have a great Christmas doing whatever you want, wherever you want, then watch this guy stream for the millionth time. Like, I'll be streaming anyway. I'd love to see you guys, but I get it. I really do. And in fact, my Christmas streams generally don't do well in terms of viewers, and I'm actually happy about that, because that means people are doing Christmas things with their family. That's what I want. You know, if you're on your way to Christmas dinner with your family, you have a few minutes, stop by. But seriously, no pressure. I'm excited for it regardless. I'm going to have a great time. I don't even know how long I'm going to stream. But just the fact that I'll get to is another joy that I don't take for granted, just like I haven't taken for granted anything I've done this year. Retromanias, whatever promotions I've done, God knows I've done a lot of them. Quest 40 suits Sega. I did know that. I thought it was more related to Sonic Movie 3, but apparently is it about Smash? I mean, I know it's in Smash Brothers as like a downloadable track or extra track. I did not know it went that far back, because if you're talking about Smash Brothers, that's like Smash Brothers Brawl 4, the new one. Man, is why I'll stream Frontiers tomorrow. Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, whatever you got. And sometimes that's cool, too. I've had some Christmases where I basically stay in all day, and I just play a few games. I don't stream them, but I just play a few games, and I watch games because I like basketball. But there's also... Live and Learn was in the Yakuza games? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Sega loves to put their other properties together. And they didn't... God, that sucks. See, at first I thought they were being petty about, like, one use of it or something. That's ridiculous. Not that, you know, that was okay either, but I mean, like, really? I mean, I don't know what kind of contract they signed. Like, maybe, I mean, Quest 40 also did a lot more songs for Sega than Live and Learn, but that's the one they're known for. They did Open Your Heart, they even did the theme song for Black Knight, which we were talking about earlier. So yeah, Quest 40's done probably dozens of songs for Sega for various projects. And I don't know, again, I don't know what contract they signed with them. Maybe they signed a contract like 20 years ago saying, like, you know, Sega has the right to use these songs as many times as they want. Or maybe it was something where they were supposed to, obviously it sounds like it was something where they were supposed to pay them. I don't know how that works. If somebody writes a song, like, you know, whoever wrote the original Mario Brothers song, are they getting paid every single time that song is used in a new Mario game or a new, like, a Mario movie? Like, I don't know. So, I mean, Quest 40, you know, basically like the modern, quote-unquote modern, it's 20 years ago, but the modern Sonic music writers, well, they haven't had a new composition for Sonic in probably 5 or 6 years in terms of for the games, but my point being, like, you would think Quest 40 would be getting a good chunk of money, even if it's not for everything. They'd be getting some kind of money for just being featured in games and different things, but anyway, that sucks, but every time I try to defend Sega, it's like, I really can't. I can't defend Sega for not paying the composer of some of their iconic songs, like, come on. Not like they don't have the money. I don't know even what it would amount to. I mean, I'm sure it would be a decent chunk of change, but I don't think it's something Sega couldn't afford. I know Sega had some tough times in the mid-2000s with money, but I don't think now. I think they're on their feet, at least. I think the Sonic movie revenue has helped them tremendously. I think they actually sold pretty well with the Sega Genesis Mini and some of the other projects they've done. You know, they sell Sonic merch like crazy, not just movie merch, but just Sonic merchandise in general. I mean, they could never make a game again, and they would still make a ton of money off the clothing sales and all the stuff from Sonic. But obviously, they're going to keep making games. The Yakuza games I know have sold pretty well, including the newest one they made. I have no idea how we got on this topic, but it's fine. Like, I'm in a great mood, in case you guys can't tell. I should be in an even better mood tomorrow if time goes away. I think it will. It always ramps up from here. You know, Christmas Eve, which is today, Christmas Eve tomorrow, and Christmas Day the next day. And then we'll see, you know, I always kind of just try to focus on these days, you know, December 23rd, 4th, 5th, whatever, let's go, let's get it. Christmas 2024, so close, I can smell it. Actually, I think my mouth's making a pizza, but I can smell it. You're so close. I am so ready. Hopefully you all are too. But again, thank you all so much for supporting me with Retromania, with Games of Christmas Past. We're going to have, you know, a lot more fun. It's going to be a lot more fun, and then it's going to be over pretty quick, too. So it's kind of funny. It's like, yeah, we're going to have a lot more fun, and then it's going to be over. I mean, I'll still stream after Christmas, but there's only one Christmas, you know. As much as I love to say, you know, the Christmas spirit lasts all year or whatever, it doesn't. Not in this sense. Like, there is only one Christmas, and that's what makes it more special, and that's why I'm ready to go for it, and hopefully you all are, too. We will see you tomorrow for 2 really great streams, and then we'll go from there. But again, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you have a great rest of your night. We will see you tomorrow. And as always, stay chaotic and blur out. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for another eventful countdown to Christmas. 15 seconds away from the greatest holiday of all time. Yes, 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 yes! 3, 2, 1.
Yes! 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 Let's do it! Let's do it! Yeah! You gotta be kidding me! Yes! Yes! Oh yes! What's my name? What's my name? I am Bobby Gaines, the